still up 40%, but it's certainly seen better days. IRE is him. It has been kind of up higher lows, higher highs, very little in the way of bamboozlement. When it did bamboozle you, it dropped into the 20 and then caught a bit immediately. So we are, though, finding some resistance at 13. So those who are still holding from the 11s and the 12s, be on the lookout for that, because that lower high trend unbroken for the moment. So those are the only good small cap gappers, I would say, that are still in play. It's that QCLS, IRE, AUST's had better days. RDW, OB, and I were involved in this one. Again, you can see it. The lower high trend unbroken. In fact, it feels like it's a downward channel since making that lower high trend. So I would stay away from this unless you're looking to play it as a range or maybe a bounce off VWAP. So RDW only up 10%, and it really kind of showed its hand there, Obe.
Yeah, that BNAI is pushing back through 15, man.
Oh, good call on that. I missed that.
Took me out for a chop there. Was long, was then short, and then flipped back long again. It was absolutely crazy. And like I said, just kind of feeling out some of these small caps. And do they really tell you where they want to go? Let me say that.
They do, bro.
At the very least. So
until they don't.
Until they don't. Exactly. That's what those edge A orders are good for, right?
Good call.
So I think I'm going to be thinking a lot more about some of these names here. And BNAI was probably the best one.
I'm so happy to hear that, bro.
Yeah, man, definitely. You know, it is absolutely solid there. So it looked like it was about to break down this 13 level, get rocked on the short, and then I just flip long because I'm like, okay, now we've broken trend, and that buying was definitely a little distinct, and then starts to consolidate, step up higher, consolidate, step up higher. Let's see if we print the 15s going into the end of the day. But yeah, no, a lot of learning definitely on my part here on the day today, especially about some of these small caps, just participating and taking some reps. So solid session today there, Sharif.
And thank you for being on, brother. I mean, you covered last week, you covered this week for your boy Joey Opsh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be sad.
I'm around. I'm right here.
Yeah, but you're in the back room. You're always hiding in the back room over there.
Yeah, no, I know.
Shout out to Obe. Thanks for being on, though, brother. You killed it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. All right, Joey Opsh back on Monday. For now, though, you got the big boys, Neil and Sean. Take it easy, guys.
All right, yeah, thank you, Obe. Yeah, good one there, Obes. This guy's costing us an arm and a leg, all these covers, man. You know, you think you'd be doing this for free. Yeah, shout out to Obe. We're short everything here now. So we're short Intel, we're short the Qs, we're short silver. So here we go, man. Let's see what this market brings us here this afternoon. It's going to be a good one. We saw some big size on, here's our Intel trade, by the way. You know, from long, stopped out, came back from the gym. It was just like, we're underneath, let's go. We're shorting this thing. Nice little short there. We're going to play it back to the 50-period moving average, basically a break of 45 bucks, and we can get out of this one. So we've just been reloading it short all the way down. Good trade there. Short on silver. We went long. Good, obviously my top stock there. And then here's the short, but silver's coming right back up. Let's see if we want to break through the highs again. So, hey man, the stocks were going down during the midday when we just come back on. One big candle to the green side right now. So, hey man, who knows what's going to be happening here today into this rest of this day, but only 2 hours left. It's a shortened week. About to get real cold across the Northeast, Midwest already. Snow as well. Freezing cold.
I was actually having this conversation with Fabian. He said, man, like sometimes if you get a big of enough storm out in New York, it'll actually affect sometimes the volumes, which can be opportunities on Monday. Because if there's just a little bit less volume, the movers move more.
Wow,
that's just how it works.
Moving.
But yeah, it's freezing. It's already cold in here too. I'm getting myself a tea at some point.
Yeah.
No, straight up. My hands
for sure, man. Get that tea.
Like we're indoors, man. And it was fine throughout lunch.
It's freezing here.
And now it's a little bit cold. The sandwiches were good. The cookies were okay. Yeah,
a little over baked.
That's fair. that's fair. But lunch was pretty good. So I'm back into Rivian. IBIT and CleanSpark have been both pretty strong, but just took a trend break, and I think both broke trends. So there's a trend break, and then CLSK, CleanSpark. Every now and then I have to say it out loud so that I don't completely mistype it, which is what I was doing. Was a trend break, but there was also a bit of a missed opportunity because I believe it's EQPT. That's that IPO.
Silver's gonna break.
Maybe not the best if you took the open, because it opened at 28.5 and then held 28 even exactly.
Wow.
And then broke higher, got to almost $30, pulls back. Where does it bounce? Open at 28.50, bounces off exactly 28.50. Like this thing was holding even dollars like nobody's business, but like it didn't have the hype. It is what it is. Like some of the IPO strategy for us involves how excited are people about it and how much people talking about it. And with this one, there just wasn't that. You could have made money on this trade. So I think missed opportunity for the IPO. There's a couple of other ones next week. Neither one that crazy, but we're getting back into the stream of the, end of the year you didn't have much, but you're starting to get back in IPO season. SPACs are going crazy for sure. We'll get the rundown when we'll let Sharif get ready and get into the rundown. As usual, everybody, let us know what you're interested in. What stocks are you watching? What's working, what's not working, doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, we just want to make sure on a Friday afternoon, a holiday shortened week, we're in things that are going to go. As I look up, Tesla's trying to go through VWAP. Yeah,
we reversed into we made the money long on silver. We were just going short in front of that high, and once it broke it, we're out. We'll flip back into the long. We just sort of got going there. Oopsies, not just got going, we're at 5%. Those are some good covers there off of that short, but then it broke higher. We got stopped out at 92. We'll buy right here. We'll buy a little bit if it comes back into the 80s. And then, if we dump back down below and we sort of give up this bar, then we can worry about getting out. This is the problem when you're looking at 1 minute charts. Everything looks like so. The problem is we had some sort of a bad wick or something down here. So it's creating all these actions down like this. That's really 91.25. So there is, if you're looking at 5 minute bar, that's just one bar there. Like in the last 5 minutes, we ripped up almost $1 right there on silver. So yeah, it's definitely kicking higher right here, SLV. So all right, we're gonna get it all set up. We're gonna go over all the names that you guys want us to go over, hopefully, and more as this day comes on. Throw it up there, USAR.
Keep it leafy.
Yeah,
wants to talk about USA rare earth.
Keep it leafy.
It would just be US rare earth.
USAR.
Yeah, I don't like that it's just US rare earth. Make it simple, let it roll off the tongue, but I'm not gonna tell you how to name your company. Oops, still looking at the IPO there. Oh, the breakout is real. The breakout's real in USAR. There's no doubt about it. The one thing I would say when I immediately eyeball this, okay, so there is your consolidation. It's about 15.5 to call it like $19. So you get like $3.50. It's already outpaced that consolidation break. So I feel like I'm not the charter market technician here, but I know Brian Shannon, it's something he looks at, and Michael Moss as well. Like if you're breaking out of say like a $3 consolidation range and you got that long, usually you're taking some out when it goes that first $3 too, or whatever that percentage might be. But because now it's out in the ether, where it's not a blue sky setup, but there's really no levels that aren't psychological, like 25 and 30 obviously up here, and like $31 actually looks like a bit of a level. So yeah, the breakout's there. Just feels like it's already done one move, and you're looking for that secondary play. For this afternoon, it is pressing through the high and trying to confirm the hold over the pre-market high. So that's what the concern would be for this afternoon. Like hold on to this area here, 24.4. That doesn't even look like that bad. If it can form a little bit longer of a bull flag, could be a little bit spicy. I believe that Sharif ready to go. Uh-oh, I don't know what that was. Hopefully everything is good at the big desk because we're going there.
Good, you're good.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big boys, they're locked on and loaded on this Friday, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get your tickers with CNI here on the Afternoon Rundown is to get into the chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day, but you gotta throw in that $sign, otherwise it doesn't register. Let's look though at all four major averages. Let's starting with the triple Qs here. The Nasdaq ETF up 0.42. The SPY barely holding on to positive territory, but positive nonetheless, up 0.1. The Dow getting clipped today, down a bit more than 0.5%. But speaking of getting clipped, this one, the Russell IWM is the ETF for the Russell 2000, down here into the day's low at 1 2/3% in negative territory. Speaking of things that are trading, of course, in negative territory, Sia, we have Intel. It has certainly seen better days, 17.75%, losing that $45 level. It reported earnings after the bell yesterday. We had that live for you guys on the market recap show, and it wasn't a good look.
We know it, Intel's largest shareholder is the U.S. government, as we know it. The stock is down 15.2 midday right now. The government has taken a 2.4 billion loss just as of the day and has notched a 121% overall return rate since August.
Yep.
Pretty big numbers there.
All right, guys, it was really the story of the foundry business yesterday, whether it was the 14A or the 18A. What is your look?
Yeah, I mean, we left you guys yesterday and we said, you know, the trade of the month was going to be that 50 break, but you had to get it during the after show or, you know, 5 o'clock, when did that break? Right in and around, no, that's right here, $50. So there's the $50 break right there around, you know, quarter after 5 or so. Breaks down and never sees the light, really. We did have one long, actually right into here, and we'll show it to you in a minute. But all it does is really go back to VWAP and still continue to lower. So, you know, I'm just put on my trader hat a little bit there and just went short. Finally, you know, the momentum's there. It's SSR. It continues to bleed down. We did this sort of look yesterday. Great quarter, like great quarter. The quarter was 15 cents versus 8 cents. They beat their earnings by 88%. You know, it was a great quarter. Oh, Sharif, I love when he does that, man. I tell him that all the time. Was a great quarter, but, you know, the guide there, until we find out more. Brendan said something interesting, that they're having a, not a conference, I guess it is a conference later on this year where they plan on sort of road mapping what exactly the next couple quarters will look like, but that's a long time away. So for right now, Intel continues to get punished, you know, and yeah, downside for Intel, down 18%. The thing is, Neil, we talked about this, 44, like,
that's the next.
Sometimes I make good calls. We sold this name at 53.50. This is the next area right here to see if it can hold $44. We're right there right now. I have some orders, obviously, to exit out of this position, but yeah, that's Intel right here, $44. Looks like it's going to be interesting, man. We kind of called that yesterday, but wishing it didn't happen. You know, I still own some shares here on Intel.
I don't know how, like, I feel like the break of 50 was healthy and sort of made sense based on the quarter. Like losing 46 here and possibly closing all the way at 44, like that's where it gets out of hand. Like on a bad print, you're expecting it to go down when it's gone parabolic. Fair enough. And so the U.S. government's number one. NVIDIA is top 5 according to Gemini with their stake. So they can't be too happy with it. I just feel like the market's not going to want to wait 2 weeks and, oh, sorry, 2 weeks, two quarters till the back half of the year to get a better update. That being said, it's worth remembering that Intel does have a bit of a history of rather conservative guidance. So it's been like this before. In the off chance that they're overstating it, I think this is one that if it gets back into the 50 period, the only thing I don't like about that 50 period is the fact that each time it's bounced underneath it. So you really would have to give it some room if we lose that 44, which could easily happen. You got to operate under the assumption right now that what it's doing already is what it's going to continue to do. So yeah, I think you got to wait this one out for sure. I'm not sure it's going to look that great when you have. There's so many other places you can put your money, and this has already given you such a big return. There's a lot of people ringing the register and thought this was overbought in the first place. We just got a headline here, Kraken it's all good. Just so I was going to read it. Investigating issue resulting in withdrawals on Ethereum, currently not available for several stock assets. Oh, boy. And whenever there's volatility, I don't know. You always get these reports in crypto.
Is Bitcoin, is it?
I don't know.
What's so volatile about Bitcoin right now?
Yeah, I'll just say, like, I remember, like, I've always had issues with whenever things are going absolutely nuts, like just logging, or not logging in, being able to display on Coinbase. I've never actually had an issue once I'm in trading or doing something, but I find like sometimes they just get overwhelmed when there's volume. It could be that.
All right, guys, let's ask you this. If someone handed you $1.25 million to trade, would your process change or just your upside? That's the opportunity, of course, that Funded Futures Network provides. They're a futures prop firm that gives traders access to large SIM and live funded accounts every day. They've already paid millions to traders around the world with same-day fast payments and daily payouts. And right now, evaluation accounts are 50% off, buy one, get one free, and no activation fees. You can find the link below or scan that QR code on your screen. Thank you to Funded Futures Network right there. It's funny because like we went long into SL, we went short into SLV, got stopped out. Now we're trying to go long, see if we can support this little area here. Maybe playing with this at the top end for silver right here, not a great idea. Let's let it see if it wants to flush or see if it wants to, take out the top again. But yeah, we're gonna stop out of this thing. 75% of the position anyways if we break down below the 70 mark. So we're getting ready to see what happens here with SLV long right now at 84. All right, let's go back over and get the next name on our list, Sharif.
Man, I just want to let you guys know, reports coming out here that the Trump administration is weighing, reports, we don't know if this is accurate, weighing options to navally blockade Cuba to prevent oil imports. It's being reported by Politico. So we'll have to wait and see what that does. Just looked at U.S. oil, not really moving at the moment. Microsoft, next on the list, a big 4% on the day. Several different headlines, but I got to let you know they are reporting on the 28th of January, so make sure to catch that with us. Barron's has a positive comment on that earnings report they expect Microsoft to beat. Separately, we already announced to you guys that the 365, Office 365 outage yesterday has been resolved from early this morning. Separately, UBS, with a price target cut on Microsoft, boys, from 650 to 600, see ya. And then today would be, if it holds up, the largest percentage gain for Microsoft since July.
Very cool. Also, another thing to note here is Microsoft's Fairwater AI data centers are expected to go live in early 2026. UBS analysts are confirming there's no significant delays, which is projecting a rollout of in 50 megawatt increments reaching 400 megawatts by the end of June, which will drive Microsoft Azure's growth. And like you said, UBS also raised Microsoft Azure growth's estimate in Q4 from 35% to 37%, reflecting a certain optimism about the GPU capacity coming online, which is indicating a very strong market demand for Microsoft's cloud services.
Up 4%, boys. What's it take?
Just quickly, I have no idea if it has anything to do with that Kraken headline. Probably not, but we just got VWAP on IBIT and probably shouldn't have pulled the bid because it's starting to accelerate to the downside. So Bitcoin has just gone through 90K again and we're continuing to go down. I still have CleanSpark, so it'll probably be fine. But just one note on that Microsoft thing. First of all, it's impressive. I think we were all surprised. Well, not we were surprised at how strong Microsoft's move was today. But there's something about this that just screams, if this is your best day in that long of a period of time, that probably says more about how the stock has been doing than what it says about today for Microsoft, right? Like if we're saying this about 4%, just look at the stock. It's been doing nothing. And even when it's had big days, like this is your biggest day, just indicated the top when it failed 560 bucks. So Microsoft has been in the penalty box. It has a chance to get out of it with maybe one more day like this, get back above, because you could simultaneously take the 50 and the 200. And when some of these Mag 7 names get the baton passed to them, it can be pretty impressive. We saw what happened when it was for Alphabet. We saw what can happen when Apple was doing it before that. Certainly when Tesla gets going. I'm just not convinced that Microsoft is that kind of a play. But happy to see it wake up a little bit because this is a stock that we have not talked about Microsoft in forever, despite their link to OpenAI, despite the fact that they do have a decent moat as well, like some of the other big mags. What I'm actually more interested in for Microsoft when they report coming up is going to be to spend. I want to hear their comments because they're one of the reasons why. Like a Broadcom and some of the other AI plays which have been struggling a little bit recently, they're either going to sort of live or die in the next quarter is going to be based on things that Microsoft says. So this is a stock that I'm not a buyer of. I mean, I own it still. I'm not trading it until it shows that this isn't just a one-off as well. You do this, show me that you can move for more than just one day, because 4% being your best day in forever, that's not the best look ever at all.
Yeah, I think the Mag 7 goes through these, ebbs and flows all the time where it picks one, then hits it, then picks one, then rips it. Yesterday we had Meta up 4 or 5% as well, and you can see what Meta's doing. Meta was up another 1% today, at least, wasn't it? Yeah, another 3%. So, yeah, the continuation there, it just reminds me of Meta, which is why I'm going back to that. Like, we had some nice bump up yesterday, and then there's a continuation today. So I think Microsoft can continue the flows, right? I mean, if they're having good feels about everything, why not? There's 1 day, 2 day. Let's see if we get another extension day back through 490. But, as Neil mentioned, it's all going to be what happens on earnings, and it's about the guide, which is what I'm so nervous about. I just, you got to really dig down and figure out what part of their business is growing. We hope that, as Sia mentioned, their Azure can continue to be one of their, draws, because everyone's going crazy about cloud. ChatGPT, I think we've sort of said that it seems like it's not as productive for many people as some of those other LLMs maybe. I don't know the right way of saying it, but we're going to wait to see what Microsoft has to say about that and their involvement with OpenAI. I'm getting out a little bit more silver here. It's just a little nervous about, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to show you the positions too much because we have something's wrong here with our charts. Oh, there, if I get rid of 4 o'clock, it's fine. Just nervous about it breaking back down through, man. We're long at 80 right here. Just keeps on going to like 90s. So I just got another piece out there at 90. We got some out like 86s, 87s. It's a bigger position, so I'm just trying to like kind of ease my way out of this one. I have another offer at 95, and after that, hopefully we can, retake some of the highs here. Just want to make sure that as it's bouncing in and around this range, like the high's been 95, the low's been 80, we should be able to take 15 cents in and around here. So if we can do that, we'll do it, and then we'll see if we can let the rest sort of ride here on silver. But of course, we just missed. To punch out a little bit more there. We just missed our, do we get 95s there? No, we got 94s. All right, let me cancel our 95s and see what winds up happening now. Silver to the upside, let's hope. Okay, yeah, so Microsoft, I think this is just the beginning. I think it continues. If you've got calls on that, let's see how high they can go. Right now, Softy, nice one. Only up 0.4 the Nasdaq, right? Yeah, I think the next probably one to go will be Apple, but no point in making that call. Just wait and see.
I'm willing to bet. I would pick Apple over Microsoft. I'd be willing to bet that most of the crowd here would pick Apple over Microsoft, but that's just a guess. I feel like Microsoft is the most, disrespected is not the word, but I think it's the Mag 7 name that seems to get the least chatter out of not just our community, but pretty much everywhere. That's just, maybe they just don't get their due because they've been around so long. Like, you know what's crazy?
I mean, it's the whole OpenAI thing. I think there's a lot of people who are over it right now, and you have to look to see like Xbox.
You know what's the most impressive thing about Microsoft?
Down goes drop.
If you look at like lists of the top 5 market cap companies, and then go back 10 years, and then go back 10 years, and go back 10 years. It's not a list that has a bunch of repetition outside of these like small pockets.
Yeah, Microsoft.
Like Microsoft has been through like all 3 waves.
Yeah.
In the top 5, and at some point been the top. Back, we're talking about when we started trading, and then if you go back into the mid-2000s, it did it again, and now it's.
There was something called Windows, I think. I can't remember what
So they've been in, like, no company, no tech company has had as long of a run at and near the top in terms of market cap as Microsoft. It's pretty unprecedented. We passed the baton a heck of a lot more. So there you go. Microsoft, we'll give it some due. Hopefully it does more of these 4% days and not the half measures from before. I'm guessing Palantir next.
I got to echo your sentiment on the Microsoft thing, Neil, but I also want to point out there's a lot of people that don't like Apple, just in general. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I wanted to mention as well, more information on that Trump-Cuba headline coming from Politico, by the way. It says the Trump administration is weighing new tactics to drive regime change in Cuba, including imposing a total blockade on oil imports for the Caribbean country. 3 people familiar with the matter told Politico yesterday, that escalation has been sought by some critics of the Cuban government in the administration and backed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who's Cuban, of course. According to 2 of the 3 people who were granted anonymity to discuss sensitive discussions, the decision has not been made on whether to approve that move, but it could be among the suite of possible actions presented to President Trump to force the end of Cuba's communist government, these people added. Just want to update you on that. Next, guys, is Palantir, up 2.5%. There's no specific headline today on Palantir, but I got to let you know they report on the 2nd of February. They did catch an upgrade, though, from Phillips Securities yesterday. Sia with a buy rating and a $208 price target.
That's it. Nothing else to say.
All right. Send it back to you, boys.
Damn. Palantir with a big breakout today. Finally took out that $70 level. $170 level, I should say. If it took out the $70 level, then, well, what would we be doing if Palantir had broken $70 today? I don't know, like running around in the streets, checking in with the family, just make sure everybody's okay, like that kind of a thing. So $170 got broken. It was a very clean uptrend. If I'm slapping a gigantic fail on myself, it is for, okay, there it is. That didn't work the first time through, but you just saw it. Look where it went. It broke the 170, went clean to that higher low that we were talking about, or overhead resistance that we were talking about yesterday, and then broke an all-day trend at 12:30 right into VWAP. Doesn't get any cleaner than that. Now, oftentimes, see, here's the thing. Oftentimes, what ends up happening is the thing that you were looking at before is the thing that you continue to look at. So fair enough, like I was playing pretty much every short opportunity in IBIT, which missed it there, which was part of the plan. So I was waiting for some confirmation of that move into VWAP, but it turns out that the missed opportunity was in Palantir, which was much more clean. But throw that aside, and I think what we have here, hopefully, is another bounce where we don't even get to the 200-period moving average and get a good rejection. Now, the last time it did this, it didn't even sniff the 200-period and had an instant reversal, went green like a bunch of days in a row to get to the 50. This is a little bit slower, but that could be indicative of how the market is right now, not as crazy. So Palantir, it looks like it's making another bottom, and maybe next week we get that continuation. It has to now take that 172, so I think we look for that on Monday. If we didn't take the punch at 170, I feel like this 172 breakout is the play for Monday with another gap fill to be had for Palantir. Maybe not getting as much credit for the defense side of things that you would think.
100 an ounce. Yeah, some experts. That expert's an idiot.
What if people always say some experts? It's
No, just the beginning. No, it's a continuation.
Yeah.
It's not just the beginning. I mean, the beginning was $28 is where it started from. Oh man, just the beginnings. That's how you know it's a top. I mean, that's it. Where's the Economist magazine cover with like a big silver bar on it right now? Because as Michael Noss said, nah, whatever, man. I mean, I hope for everybody long. Look, I'm long right now.
I'm putting silver in my grill.
I'm long right now.
Be rolling.
So I'm just trying to say just the beginning. Okay, that's how people get caught up in stupid stuff. But hey, man, I hope he's right or she's right because that'd be great if silver kept going up. That is for sure. And hopefully it's just beginning today and we just moon right now. But yeah, no, look, Palantir's in the penalty box right now. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it doesn't want to get going. You know, the recent high, that's the high. Like we're still making, you know, lower highs. There's the high. There he is again. We tried to go again. We tried to go right now. Potentially we're trying to go again. You know, I mean, this sort of movement, until we sort of break above 180 and try to hold there for, like, let's try to hold, like, maybe a week above 180, and then we can use this 50 period maybe as a springboard. But for right now, I feel like this 200 period is going to be once again in jeopardy. The only time, I think it's because it switched over to the Nasdaq, so we don't have, yeah, okay. No matter how far I go, it's not going to give me 200 days. But okay, here we go, silver. Hi-ho. I got to get another piece out here at 99 as we continue to climb. But yeah, there it is right now. So I like the stock. I think I'm a buyer here at 160, but let's see why we get down to 160. You know, if the whole market's cranking, I don't like Palantir down there. If it's going to be something geopolitical or something, then I will, you know, take a Palantir bid down here. But yeah, for right now, earnings, I think 3 weeks away. We'll have to wait to see what comes with Palantir. It's had such a monster run that there is going to be some kind of a slowdown. And it kind of reminds me of NVIDIA a little bit, where we're just doing nothing. I mean, sure, that's the earnings high, just like NVIDIA. And we're right back to where we were in like June and July again. I saw someone in that, let's go silver, man. Yes. Whoever that analyst said that was just getting started, they're 100% right. That person, Sharif, I don't know which outfit that was, but that is now my favorite investment bank or analyst ever. That person nailed it, man. Silver is just getting started, guys.
It's like those dudes from Chicago.
I don't know.
Just getting started.
Let's get this party started right now. Anyways, we're long. We're getting some out here on silver. So having some fun today. Sia, what are your plans this weekend?
Let me think. I'm working at my other job, and I will be doing my assignments. Yeah, that's all.
There you go. That's the life of a student.
Yeah.
The life of a student. All right, guys, Tesla zigging a little above 450, a little bit below, down 0.5% after a great day yesterday. In case you missed it yesterday, Tesla has launched unsupervised robo-taxis on a limited scale in Austin. There's still a trailing car, though, as we've seen from the video separately. They did drop, Tesla that is, drops the autopilot feature in the US and Canada. So apparently they discontinued autopilot yesterday, which it's different than FSD. It's the base basic driver assistance system as the electric vehicle maker kind of pushes people into the SaaS model to ante up $100 a month for FSD, Sia.
Yeah, also another thing that Tesla's been convicted, as we know, as at least 18 times in the UK in order to pay, and it has been asked to pay more than £20,000 for repeatedly failing to cooperate with UK police forces. And BBC just released this article today, so just reporting on that. And also AutoSteer, which has previously worked with cruise control to keep vehicles centered in a certain lane, has been not listed as a standard feature anymore on the website. And Elon Musk said on Thursday that the subscription price for FSD would rise over time as the software's capabilities will keep on improving. And that's all I have for Tesla right now.
Katina, man, you've got the autopilot in the old Model 3 down there. Now they're going to come without it, my man. Have you used it yet?
No. Marissa uses it. She likes it. She says that you can put the rainbow, you can put it on Rainbow Road, so she just lets it go, and it's fine. We don't drive too much on the highway with that, so it's not, the auto drive is not the great. It's fine in the streets, but it's not. There's too much action popping through, so it doesn't work great in the city streets. But no, to answer your question, Sharif, we do not use that.
Drivers are probably not.
But to me, it's just like cruise control. I don't understand what the difference is really than cruise control, but I'm sure there is something like that. No, it's better than cruise. It's better, yes. It's better, yes. By the way, here we go, man. Silver just upside. Yeah, so Tesla today, it sucks because we wrote down, and I mean, I'm on to silver now. I'm on to Intel. We've got this. No worries. I'm here. We're under control. But at the end of the day, you know, missed opportunity 4 or 5 times here on Tesla. 445 area long. You know, yesterday we had that huge news on Robotaxi. We talked about that. This is the stick. You know, we have it on there today. And we have had silver long 89.50. That's the low of the day. We had Palantir long. And we had Intel long at 48. That was not right, but we're short Intel. So when you look at what Tesla's been doing today, there's that 445 bottom. We nailed it there. It happened again. It basically happened again. So 3 times that low. Nice move to the high side. We did break through 451 when it was the high of the day. That was initially what we looked at, and we took it, broke, then it came back in. So we'll wind up red on Tesla there a little bit, but the dip buys were what was it. We don't need to talk about Tesla as, you know, a car. Like, we saw the move yesterday right here in the middle of the day when we started talking about FSD, right? That robo-taxi idea. So when we started seeing that in Austin, then we saw it go basically $10 straight up. That was on a video, all right? So once it's announced, once all this sort of rumors of what was that car behind it, how is FSD going to be, you know, applied, I really think it's upside. I think that the way the world's going right now, everybody wants autonomy. It makes driving so much easier. It is so much safer than human driving. I just think FSD is a thing, and I think everyone eventually is going to be using some form of it, whether or not it's on Tesla's back or not. FSD, I think, is here to stay. So yeah, I like Tesla for that reason. I think we all do.
And I think when you think about it, when there's less accidents on the road, you're probably going to have fewer concussions from car accidents. And with millions of concussions out there and 0 approved therapies, Orogenics, which is OGEN on the NYSE, is advancing a new standard with its intranasal, brain-first approach to concussion treatment. With its $8.9 billion market on the horizon, Orogenics is positioned to drive what comes next. See what's ahead and book a meeting today. Shout out to them, OGEN, over on the NYSE. I'll say about Tesla is I'm giving it a pass for failing the 450 today because it's a Friday. And breakouts at massive levels like that tend to be a little harder to come by in terms of getting follow through on a Friday. That's just kind of how it is. Market mechanics and options expiration. It is what it is. It ends up being a consolidated day. You had a $20 range on Wednesday. You had an $18 range yesterday. Tesla ends up consolidating up top with a $7 range today. Consolidations on holds higher. It just kind of forms like a continuation of this bull flag from yesterday's trade. So it still remains, you know, a little rounded bottom and a little bit bullish. You just got into a chop zone that we're going to have to chew our way through here on Tesla. I am in Rivian because I figured, I said this yesterday, like whatever, Tesla was going up and Rivian only went down all day. Well, Rivian's only going down again. It is finding a bid at 15.8. I got 15.92 right now and trying to get out at the low of the day at 15.8. But for this, I know I'm short now, but it is worth mentioning. In the EV space, somebody really liked Rivian at $13. And if you look at how it held that 13 even back in October, I feel like if this stock gets there, that's kind of an obvious place to look for a bounce. So we'll see. I mean, it's not getting there today. Again, like if it gets there today, we got other issues. But that's starting to get interesting, Rivian. It's pulling back into some levels where there were a lot of buyers before, and I'd be looking for a bounce play out down there. At this point, I think you have to be really, really patient because, let's be real, like this stock has again made another fresh high and rejected it. Didn't even hold the prior highs. So you'll have lost the 200 period moving average if you get there. So it's proceed with some caution on Rivian. For now, with the short until proven otherwise. And we got a couple of, I think at least 2 super chats. Maybe just the one, but easy peasy, shouting you out again, the 0.2%. Thank you for the 220. Have a good weekend yourself. Stay warm. Hopefully you're not, I don't know, you might be somewhere where everybody's getting a bunch of snow this weekend, so stay warm, stay safe is all I gotta say. If you happen to be somewhere that doesn't usually get snow and you get a bunch of it, just remember that most people aren't used to it, and to stay off the roads.
Yeah, exactly.
And shout out to, PVT Wow. Will you guys switch schedule one day with Joe and Sharif?
Yes,
I think
yes,
Thursdays?
yes. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Every day we'll switch with them. I mean, that would be great. I'd like to go from 8 o'clock all the way to 2 p.m.
Guys.
Yeah, I know. We'll use all the midday viewers, I think.
Well, my wife is traveling. That would be great because then it'd be easier for me to take her into stuff, get out a little bit earlier. But yeah, we can.
Yeah, Sharif, you just want to go from 8 to 11, Sharif?
I'd love to. You know, Katina, man, I'd love to trade the small caps in the morning. I'd like to be able to give that a shot.
Okay.
We can dance around.
But that's before the big show.
Attention, Brendan.
All right, let's look at the next ticker, as decided by you guys. The last ticker, by the way, Netflix. And today, Netflix is set to break a 6th straight session of losses. It's down nearly 9% in the past month. It has been far underperforming the S&P 500, rising only about 5% in the last year compared to the S&P, which is up about 17. Separately, Robert W. Beard reiterating Netflix with an outperform rating and dropping the price target, though, from 150 to 120. But see, there was more. There was something about sniffing there.
There is something about sniffing here. So there's thank you to Financial Times for certain executive interviews that have been reported on. Co-CEO Greg Peters has said that Paramount's bid for Warner Bros. Doesn't pass the sniff test. And basically what was going on is that Wall Street and the media are awaiting apparently an even bigger cash bid from Paramount. And Peters said that it would not work out from a borrowing standpoint is what was being said. And what he commented was, without Larry Ellison independently financing this thing, there's no chance in hell Paramount would ever be able to pull this off.
Well, we know a lot of the deal, as you mentioned, there is with debt, whereas Netflix an all-cash offer and they're financing it with money in-house. Guys, Netflix up 2.33% finally.
I just feel like if they needle enough, Larry's going to up the bid or going to guarantee a little bit more, and we'll see what happens. But ultimately, you know, in Netflix, seemingly on a weekly chart, it seems like we are getting that bounce. So there's our 82 level on the weekly. Netflix has pretty successfully bounced off of that after earnings. It held the higher low, so our line in the sand. It looked bad on the night of earnings when we did it, but it's now holding out. The next step would be breaking away, showing that it's not just a dead cat bounce, but has some continuation. We need to get back into the 88, 89 zone. We've got further clarity on this deal. Netflix has made their statement. They're going with cash. They haven't had to up the bid at this point, and I think the market is telling you that after the earnings, there was a little disappointment early, but probably just a bit of an overreaction, and the big level is held. But we're only 2% away from that same low. There's no celebrating that 82 is held on a weekly chart if it hasn't even held for a week. So I want to see us hold this level for at least a week, and then I can, then maybe get constructive about buying again at these levels on Netflix, because the downtrend is legit on this stock. There's no arguing about the downward trend that Netflix has been on. You haven't broken the downward trend. You've just simply bounced off of a low with Netflix. I think it's a good value in here. I'm not buying necessarily again at this level because I just did, but I am looking for another spot to buy before we get to the second half of the year. I can be patient with it because of the downtrend, though.
Yeah, Netflix, I think there's going to be nothing wrong with what's happening there on Netflix. By the way, Intel is at the day's low right now, so that is now cracking, like, down 18%, man. This one is flying right in there as the short just continues. Like, I can't believe I got some out up there, right there back in. We're going to wait for a break of 50. There was huge size on, okay, it's not that big here, on 45 flat. So right now, some size there at 50. Remember, it's SSR, so you got to actually hit the bid, which you're not allowed to do. So everybody that's actually selling are shares dumping them. So there's 230 million shares traded today. The only way you can hit this side is if you already have a position or you already have inventory in the stock. So these are big sells happening today on Intel, man. It's like everyone that's long in their personals, probably some hedge funds and whatnot, definitely rinsing out today. I wonder how much of this would be that US government or NVIDIA or something, because you are getting a lot of volume really crushing right here Intel today. So it's really getting hit. The futures we've just shorted. I mean, this is what we're doing right now. We'll do a face slap. I mean,
position board's incorrect.
Position board's fine for me, but maybe incorrect for you. What is that?
You're not
long
long.
TQs. No, I'm
reverse silver and.
What does silver say? Short.
Short.
Oh yeah, that's way off.
I just
Yeah,
noticed
good thing
it. I
you
noticed
noticed
it now because someone was saying.
Oh, Fabian.
Fab,
Position board is completely wrong.
it's
right now.
right for me, but
Let's try to turn it off and on, maybe.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. I mean, for me, whatever. You guys can keep it on if you want. But I am right now short Intel. Short Intel, long. Well, here I'll tell you my positions. Short Intel 54. Short Intel 45.14. So that's right. We are long silver 91.81. So yeah, everything silver's right, and the TQs
just corrected.
is short.
It just fixed itself.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, it just fixed itself.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay, so we're good. So all those positions are what they are now. So, okay. You know what was really violent the last couple of days? We talked about AMD hitting that 266 mark and then fading. That's a great level. Like, we actually looked at that earlier by accident today when we were talking about NVIDIA. And I said, I'm not going to look at NVIDIA today when this thing is right here. And we opened up at 57. We ripped in the very first minute or so up to that 66 and then got hit down. So like there it is right there in the very first minute of the market open. It ripped like crazy up to that level, then just got hit right back down. So yeah, there's, you know, stocks have memory, and it remembers that AMD has sellers up there around 266 to 265. So let's pay attention to that and see if that is the play moving forward on Monday. Is there going to be some love up there for AMD one more time? Micron, you would think the opposite of that, man. Like Micron, there is no top for Micron. It just every day seems to be an extension there. On the year, up 48% or something like that since January. SNDK is up 120. I mean, I think SNDK was falling last couple of days, but SNDK continues to be the big winner in 2026. How much? Still up down 4%, but yeah, what a ridiculous move. That's January 1st right here. It was $242. It's $500. So SNDK and the rest just keep on moving, man. AMD appears to be the one right here. Yeah, the chosen one. Another out here at O's for silver. Let's go, man. Let's get back up to the highs here. That $150 silver price target seems more and more accurate as we go higher there.
We got a super chat from Alberta Gloater. Shout out to our fellow Canadian.
That's right.
Out of Alberta. I've only ever been out there once, and I didn't get out of Edmonton. I was just in Edmonton for a few days, supporting my wife was in the age group world championships for triathlon. So I got a chance to go. It was pretty cool. They do like the whole like flag thing and everything. It felt like the Olympics, but HIMS bounce off the 200 SMA weekly chart next week. Okay, so here's the thing. If maybe this is the 200 simple moving average on the weekly. It's like $10 down. That's a good 30-something%. So if this is what we're talking about as far as bounce, if HIMS even gets there next week, that's a gigantic problem. So I don't know if there's a different metric you're looking at. But yeah, it's in theory it could be a level, but I would be utterly shocked if HIMS has that bad of a week next week that it gets blown out that far to the downside. Unless maybe they report next week, and that's a reason you could see that hefty of a move. But like the last time it moved $10, it took 2 months for it to move $10 down. I don't think it's doing it in just 1 week. I also didn't realize this stock was doing this poorly, to be perfectly honest with you. I had no clue it was doing this bad. It is coming into some levels on the daily chart at 25. I think this might be a more realistic bounce spot here at $25 for next week. Dara, when do they report? Do you know?
I was just going to say they don't report next week. That I know for a fact. They usually report the same day as Palantir. Like that, I've seen that 99% of the time. Palantir, I believe, is set to report on February 2nd. So tentatively, that could be when Hims and Hers reports. They do tend to report the exact same day, generally speaking.
There you go. The memory for the win, as usual with the Dara. I'm not going to pretend that I remember something like that for sure. It's just, it's such a weird one, how bad this one had been. It was doing, it had just been such a rocket ship and had all these problems in the 60s.
Hims reports February 23rd.
So the 23rd?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty far away. I mean, by earnings, it could get down to that level on the weekly. I don't think it's dropping 30% in a single week. What would the catalyst be to drop Hims 30% in a week when it's taken like a couple of months to get there? So at least for this afternoon, I will look for reloads on Rivian if it can get there. We're looking for some eyeballs on anything that might be moving around, still in CLSK. Bitcoin slowed down after that little headline. And CleanSpark, it broke trend. It's been sliding lower, but it's doing this, like very distinct lower highs each time through. So I feel like it bounces off the trend, get out bottom. If it breaks the low here, I'll look to maybe move the trail. But I don't want this thing going past break even at this point. It's been sliding down. Like IBIT fell hard into VWAP, and this is sort of going a little bit slower to said downside. So those are the two things I'm in. We'll look for some small cappers that might be going. I'm just going to adjust the stop in there. I also have a stop on, I'm going to cancel my IBIT stop. Not in position. Don't need it anymore. Jay Bronson likes CRML with a keep one, get out of the other. Ooh. Well, you have to pick between critical metals or quad U. That's legitimately, that's not an easy one. But okay, I've already looked at critical metals. I'm gonna go with just based on the chart. This is kind of gonna be counterintuitive because I'm more of a ring the register at the highs kind of guy than some people. I'd probably keep CRML just because I feel like UUU's getting into this double top, and then if it takes out that double top, maybe there's like a re-entry setup in there, or if it pulls back. It's been the better one, no questions asked. From a technical standpoint, only because I was looking at critical metals earlier, it's like it's got a little bit more room to go. It's definitely not the better stock right now. That's a really tough one. But the real question is, why do you have to get out? They're both on trend and haven't done anything to pull back. So that's my first question. It's like if I'm in a swing in something which is still trending up, why am I getting out? Trim maybe, but to get out of something totally when they're both working right now, I don't know. Like the honest answer is no, neither. Like I don't see either one giving you a reason to get out right now. They're still on trend.
Savvy Canadian traders are looking to boost their exposure can now tap into the Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500 with Beta Pro 3x daily levered ETFs featuring built-in FX hedging. This aims to amplify short-term market moves, minimizing the impact of currency swings. Whether you're feeling bullish or bearish, these ETFs are built for active day traders ready to take on the market. Read the full risk disclosure in the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. Scan that QR code to find out some more information. Yeah. I mean, here we go. So here we go again, basically. Here goes silver, up to today's high again, breaking higher on SLV as we break through the $100 on the physical contract, and SLV ticks a little higher. We did have that one upgrade or price target of 150. And now that we're breaking through, let's see what winds up happening. You know, China's going to get a hold of this as well, and we should see an extension, hopefully in silver over the weekend. But yeah, there it goes. Nice move upside there for silver. Let's see if it can hold on to whatever momentum this thing is going to have Let's just see if it keeps it. You know, my stop now, we can always just move this 91.90. Let's just move our stop into that. We've seen, like, when we've been in silver before, like, we were long rate, so oopsies, we've been a bull all day for silver, except for when we weren't, and that was right into here when we went short against that high, able to make a little bit of money, but we went long silver down here at 90 bucks. Boom, there it goes all the way to the high side right now, and looking to take some more out. So what I was trying to get at right there, and if we zoom in, you'll be able to see hopefully a little bit more. Right here, when we were long silver, we put a stop. We just didn't adjust our stop order. It came down. We should have used the 50-period moving average because it just went whoops. So right there, we wound up losing about 20 cents more than we should have on that one because we were not really respecting it. And right here, we see we've just been kind of climbing with this. So I am going to put a stop order right there at 91.90 and see if, just in case we do have a flush, I want to make sure that we mark it out. At least, how many shares do I have left? Probably about 75% or maybe half of the position out right there if we do break back down below 191.90. So let's just do that right now, 91.88. Well, let's get out of 75 because we can always regroup if we need to. So nice move to the downside right there. Let's see if it can continue here. Nice move to the upside. If it moves down, we'll see about buying some of that dip. Downside is happening here. We've just been short. I just put a bid. Where was my bid? 36s. How low did we get? 36, okay, so we get missed. But hopefully that can fall back in. That's gonna be an area that we're working with. If this breaks above 65, we're out. That order's already in. And then one more talk would be Intel. That just went to day's low. We were able to sit there at 50 and take a piece. We took another piece there. Looks like it's just dancing around. Our stop is at 45 bucks, and we have very little shares left. We have about 15% left on this trade, so that's been pretty good. But yeah, we'll just wait, sit on this. If there's any other trades that wind up coming through, we'll definitely look at them. The stock move. Now silver's at $102. We can actually look at spot silver if we wanted to as well. But I mean, I'm sort of tracking it here with SLV. So another push higher. I don't think we need to really get out of this until the close. I mean, we could put something in case it hits us. Let's go something to 92.24. We'll just see if we can just slowly get out of like 5% every little bump up and see what we have left for the ride higher into the close. But yeah, so far so good here for SLV. Yeah, what are you into? Oh, you're short those two?
Shorts, yeah. CleanSpark and Rivian like before. I was just asking Adara what the news was on Open Door, because a few questions about Open. Like Anton just said Open is going to join Beyond. Yeah, we think they're going bankrupt. Derek Jackson probably has something to say about that. I think it's a little bit extreme. But I know there was a story, I believe, because I heard the
There was a story earlier, but I don't think it's what caused that. I'll have to look into because I didn't see anything on that. But there was a story in Open Door. They released, in their words, a thing, quote unquote, which is just a weird little feature that allows you to turn your house into a diorama. Really bizarre, but it did lead to that whole pop off of the low at the time on the day, and that was the entire story. I'm not sure what this spike is. I'm going to look into that now, but I have not seen anything.
It's just like it's just a very weird volume spike out of nowhere, like 224. He's just cruising down and then does this like, uh-oh, let's just shake everybody and their mother out and then head lower. Diorama. What are we doing here? That's not getting the job done. So just for a look, if you're anyone interested, look, it is potentially breaking down. All you do for this stock is get up to 7, fail the break of the 50 period, and then head back in. Hopefully it can hold on to this 550. I just can't see what gets it going at this point. Like, this is turning back into the why not just be shorted every single pop when you get a chance in Open Door. So I don't know what the catalyst is going to be, unfortunately. That looks pretty nasty. Inane Investment says, have we seen the volume spike in GameStop? We did. That was yesterday. Today, GameStop has been incredibly disappointing. Certainly gave an opportunity. If our good friend Ryan Cohen wants to get any more, then he could have bought the dip today for sure, but it was at, I think it was like 2 tranches of 500,000 shares, I believe. And yesterday it got the juice. Today, right back at that 23 level. I still favor a 23.50 break. And that's not happening today. We file that one away till next week for GameStop. I do like you want to see someone like Cohen have confidence in it, but it needs to break out this resistance right here. It's not doing it today. It didn't do it yesterday. I think we have a shot at it happening next week for GameStop. Squeeze stocks need to break out levels that shorts cover, or at least start looking to cover once it gets above a price. Otherwise, it's just going to slowly go up, which is what it's doing here.
All right. We're still watching silver, obviously. TQ's going downside. We're taking some bids. And hi-ho, man, it's just still going, man. Silver now 60 cents in. We just got some outs in the 50 there. So just the high is 51. Here it is 44. Going a lot higher goes silver. So boom on that one. We'll be positive on silver, positive on what I call the futures here with the TQQs as well. We're working on our Intel position, and then we have Tesla as our other trade there today. Okay, just looking here, we can have a quick little look to see sort of what's been going on with the broader market as we keep on talking about a lot of the similar names. I'm glad that you guys went over Open Door and a few other plays like that, but let's just see, banks have been a problem. Today, down 2% on JP Morgan, as it seems like that credit card scare might be real there. So we're going to see if Trump and company can come back. Look at Capital One, down 8%. They had or 7%. They reported last night, not great for COF. We can have a look at that. Broke through that 220 level and downside there on COF. Goldman Sachs down 4%. Wow. Morgan Stanley down 2% as well. Some of these great names just got hit pretty badly. I think it might be time to look at something. There's Robinhood, by the way, up 2% as crypto and Bitcoin. That was itchy. Bitcoin keeps going upside there as well. So there goes Robinhood. We can have a quick check on SoFi. Blackstone and BlackRock. BlackRock had a huge quarter last week, and they're down today. You might want to pick something up there if you want to run the world. You can run the world with BlackRock and own that stock. Eli Lilly. So, I mean, this is a spot where I would be thinking about looking. I mean, I'm already into the banks. I will pick some more up on weakness, but I basically own none of these names in here. So, you know, Caterpillar, Lamb, GE Vernova, Deere, you know, I like all of these names, obviously waiting for a bigger pullback. I think it's on right now on some of these names. I mean, even if you're looking at a stock like a Caterpillar, it's, you know, it's part of the build out story, and it's still part of the AI story. It's part of everything. And I just like the fact that you can get a little diversified with a name like Caterpillar. It's still not pulling back enough, but if this does, look at the 50-period moving average on Caterpillar, right? Most stocks will look like this, especially after the tariff tantrum, but at the end of it all, it's still respecting it. It's a nice upside move, and if we can come back in to 6 bills like we've happened before, Caterpillar would be one that's on the old radar looking forward there. Cal reports next week, so thank you so much there, TPS reporter, for dropping that knowledge. Obviously something that's relatively important. Caterpillar, for the whole build out, China, these data centers, so on and so forth. Amazon, of course, we heard today, they're getting a little more efficient by cutting some jobs. Hate to say that, but that is what it does. Target up 2% as well today. Walmart, a little bit of a hangover from their addition into the Nasdaq last Friday. We can check out that stock. Costco's been on a straight fire to the upside since they missed on their report. Costco, 2 quarters or last quarter, we'll see the retails coming up. Retail is always the last sort of sector to report. They got hit, and then they found a bottom, and then boom, right there. Like, I don't know what started this 850 nonsense there. Everyone was concerned that the tariffs were going to affect Costco. They took a stance on it, and we still don't have a decision. So I think you should take a little bit of profit on Costco at this point if you've been able to exercise your demons and buy this thing at the low, and now you have an opportunity to get some out. Just like I said on Intel yesterday, man, Intel went parabolic to the upside, and it was very, very easy decision for me. Look, man, I got some out here at 42 when it went the first time, and then right before earnings, let's get out. If Microsoft goes parabolic before earnings, if Palantir goes, like all of those stocks, just insert name here. I'm going to try to do a very, very similar strategy for every stock heading into earnings. If it has a huge move, there's nothing wrong with pairing something off. And if you had done that with Intel today, obviously you can buy it back $10 lower. So far so good there with Intel and the rest of them. But wow, what a day yesterday. Great review, great after show. And we're starting next week again, man. It's going to be Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Yeah. And Adair, I don't know if you have the earnings calendar yet. Oh, perfect. So in just a matter of a couple minutes, we'll review next week's earnings calendar.
We got to hit power hour. There's like an order of things. Like we get the power hour has to.
Right.
And it's basically it's like an alarm for it for sure. Which, let's be real, we have a lot of fun doing the aftermarket show, especially during earnings season, because I feel like
only during earnings season.
Well, yeah, exactly. Now it's only during earnings season, but those are the types of days where you start to set up your decisions for especially the first report of the year, decisions for the year. That's why I've never been a huge fan of what do you like for 2026? Because to me, it's like some of the stuff I like, it's like, well, what was I looking at in December after the last quarter of earnings? And now it's like, well, I want to wait to see this next point of earnings, and is there anything changed that we can sink our teeth into? And I think it's going to be a massive one for the hyperscalers. And not necessarily for them per se, but we've talked about it before, like for Oracles and for Broadcoms. Like, is this going to give us an opportunity to find some strength in Broadcom again? Will Oracle ever not stop dying here? That's what we're going to find out. So Power Hour has just hit. It looks like a few things just ticked to the downside a little bit more. Finally got a bit of a bigger move in CLSK. I'm kicking myself over that IPO. And then I just saw that Lego SPAC would have worked as well.
Lego? Oh, no.
Oh, no, it's not. It's...
Yeah, they're not public.
Yeah, there's a SPAC. No, there's literally a SPAC. It happens to be LEGO.
I'm starting to get out a little bit of silver here. Silver's pushing down.
Yeah,
right now.
To press.
So that's fine for me, man. We are short the Nasdaq, we are short Intel, all well, but we are now getting out of more and more silver, guys. So as that starts to pop through, we can change our stop. Is it still 92 bucks? Where's my stop at? No, 91.88. So let's change that. See, this is what I mean about trading. We always get the question, what about trading multiple positions? To me, it's about setting your stops and making sure that they're there. So 91, and not making keystroke errors, 91.98. All right, you know what? Let's just flatten it all out. If it breaks it, it breaks it. Because we're able to get out on the way up here, it's now like less than 15% left of this trade. And I do have offers. I have an offer at 37, and then I have an offer up here at 58 again if it does reach the highs. Intel down in near days low, so we take another fill there. And as Neil said, I would not mind if the futures really start getting worked a bit right there. We'll take another fill. Let's see if we can get to the downside. Adair's going to let us know, and she can actually break the story once that calendar is ready, and then we'll have a look at it all together. Tesla is making its move again. It's right at VWAP again and trying to figure out what it wants to do. They're breaking through right now. Pretty choppy this afternoon, which generally is the case in the afternoon for Tesla. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then you just wait to see if there's a news story or if the market really starts to go. We know that there's some juice in Tesla. It had some early today. Late. Early it was down, and then it got going there to the upside when we were, basing out at 445. That's the trade for Tesla. Always wait for it to try to make its mind up, and then it goes, and then you got to deal with it after that. So Tesla right now trying to get it all figured out. Silver goes right back upsides now. So we're just doing what we're doing. Capital One 3-day rule. Yes.
Yeah, you guys.
Have you looked at XLF?
Banks have really. It was a kind of a conversation in the chat about some of the banks. Someone just said SoFi is turning into PayPal. I'm like, I don't think so. And then there was a good comment saying if you're in fintech banking space, you're all selling off because of JP Morgan today, which I would tend to agree with that a little bit more. Like some of the weaknesses being led by what's happening between JP, it's a little like credit card thing, and then of course JP Morgan and the debanking story, which could have some legs to it, and if they fall out of favor. So I think that's what's happening to the finance sector, in my opinion. And again, I like SoFi. Just to liken SoFi to PayPal, I just think one of these things is not like the other. That's all. Although, hey, PayPal, for what it's worth, has bounced off the 52-week low and put a couple of good days off of it, and now turning right back in. Maybe a double bottom. Maybe PayPal's going to turn things around, but I don't know if I'm comparing SoFi and PayPal, everybody. Let's go to Adara. Now we can see what's in tap next week. We know some names on the middle of that list.
Yeah, I do have the weekly earnings calendar. Just so you guys know, there are posts coming out during the weekend as well. So I do have an entire Meg 7 earnings rundown that's scheduled to come out, I believe, Sunday evening. So you'll get it basically right before the market opens, more or less. But some of the companies reporting next week include MasterCard, Caterpillar, Royal Caribbean, Altria. You've got SoFi on Friday, American Express on Friday, Verizon, Charter, ExxonMobil, Chevron, all on Friday. We said yesterday that we didn't think Friday was too exciting of an earnings day. That's not always the case. Sometimes it can be very exciting. So good look there. And then on Wednesday, you've got ASML, Starbucks before the bell, which I've never seen before, but that's what it says. So we'll have to wait and see if that is in fact the case. AT&T also before the bell, but after the bell on Wednesday, we get 3 Mag 7 names, Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, as well as IBM. Tuesday morning, we also have UNH and Boeing, too, that I discuss a lot, so it should be an interesting look. I also want to mention, I looked more into Open Door, Neil, and I apologize for how late my response is on this because my computer kind of crashed while I was looking, but I did not find anything. Some people were circulating a podcast interview from yesterday with Anthony Pompliano, who was right after Eric Jackson, like the second kind of major investor to pump Open Door, but he did an interview with Open Door CEO Kaz Najadian, which that was kind of circulating around that time, but again, it was released yesterday, so very unlikely that's the reason for the move.
There you go, and look, it's a busy week. Obviously, you've got one major name post-market on Thursday, but Wednesday night, it gets real. It's absolutely real when you're talking
Wednesday
about
night
Microsoft, when you're talking
get my
about
hair cut this
Meta,
night
when you're
too,
talking about Tesla, Lam. This is the kind of thing that it'll be so easy to forget that you got Lam and IBM out there as well, and ServiceNow. Like it's going to be fire, no question about it. In the pre-market, you got ASML, so we're going to get a monster name in the chip space pre-market on the same day.
Yeah, well, that'll be at midnight, but.
We got to see it because they're in Amsterdam.
Yeah, so ASML will be a thing. But yeah, man, I mean, this is the name here, Tesla. Yeah. That's going to be an absolute monster. We'll have to see what winds up happening there. You know, looking forward for the guide there. What are they saying about that robo-taxi? What's that call going to look like? Like, Tesla's going to be, I think that's going to be the most exciting earnings report this quarter.
I'm going to go with a name that is not Apple on Thursday night.
Thursday night?
Because I just feel the way SanDisk is going. Like, it's been so utterly ridiculous. It just so happens that, yeah,
they're both here.
They just happen to both report before Micron. And with how insane the stock has been going, we remember, I'm not calling this an SMCI, but they're supposed to have an insane amount of EP. I think it's like 4x year over year for Micron. I don't know what it's going to be. It's supposed to be for SNDK. But if any of these names miss, I mean, yikes! Like, look what happened to Intel today. Like, look what happened to Intel today. Like,
that is
what
what's going to happen.
to if they pull an Intel? We're not talking about 18% that Intel is down. SNDK has been going crazier than this. We could be talking about 30% to the downside if they pull an Intel on that report. So I think those are the two names that are. I mean, I don't own them, so I don't necessarily have I don't have any skin in the game there, so I'm going to care how Apple does for sure, maybe more. But in terms of just an opportunity and movement, SNDK for sure.
Yeah, like on one of the best companies here, you know, with Apple reporting on Thursday, I really do think that that's definitely a buy the dip if they don't get it all figured out. So we'll wait. So anyways, yeah, good job there, Derek. Go find it at Trader TV Research right here, the calendar. I'll retweet that as well, so everybody can watch out for that. Watch my account and Adara's TTV Research at Trader TV Sean. Yeah, so here's the XLF. Like, if you didn't want to sort of pick and choose, this has been getting crushed over the last couple days, and we just had earnings, bank earnings. JP Morgan's down 10%, Morgan Stanley's down 10%, Goldman Sachs. They're all getting crushed equally here. So maybe not equally, but you know, as far as ETF is concerned, that's 56.50. So if you're down $6, then you're down 10% or so, a little bit more than that. So right now you're down to 53. So you're getting into those areas. I think this is a buy. Like, the bank stocks are all the way back to where they were in July again. So yeah, must be some kind of a buy heading into 2026. I mean, it was all the rage was XLF and whatnot. Everybody talking about this is the year of the banks. Actually, Joey Smalls chose JP Morgan as one of his picks, and that's been a dumpster fire since we made those picks as well. So yeah, it has not been a good movement there. What day did we make those picks again? January the... I have no idea.
So we made them last Monday, I believe. So that would be January. It was oh my God, my brain's dead. That would have been
12th.
January 12th.
Maybe the 12th then.
Yeah, so there's January 12th right here. So this is January the 12th. Obviously, I think we did it at the end of the day. So wherever that was at the end of the day. So right here, 324 down to 290. I mean, I still own the stock, so you know, to me, it's a great pick, but that has been getting hit to the downside. So, you know, take some love here for the bank names.
Money, 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 money.
Let's go. All right, Intel at day's low again. Yes, sir, man. We keep on saying this. We sort of coined here, traders going to trade. We just went short Like the minute that Intel, we lost the bid there, we were long on Intel early, a long, and then it lost the bid, and then it was just like, you know what, man, we're nowhere near VWAP, we're nowhere near this thing. This stock is a dumpster fire, and just glad that it's continued. You know, you got to reward yourself when you're winning, and there it goes, right down to the downside, 44.45 right here. It's freezing cold, but we are now 50 minutes away, go home. We're going out for a date night. My kids will be hanging out. They'll do their thing. We're going out tonight, so
Where you guys
we're painting the city tonight, man. So I can't tell the exact restaurant. You know, I don't need to blow that up.
I'm
but,
going to Rodney's tonight.
We're going. Oh, okay, good. You,
Oh, it's freezing.
Is Rebecca going or?
Cold. No, my wife's actually, there's a conference she's going to be heading to.
Yeah.
So she's packing and whatnot. I'm going out with, the buddy I always go.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That
So we're going to be
Some
hanging
seafood.
out. Get some seafood. Get some chowder, which is my go-to. I love
the chowder too.
especially if it's freezing cold. Get something nice and warm. But usually you have a bourbon, and well, can't get good bourbon in the city anymore.
No.
You seriously like.
Yeah, I know. There, it's unless someone has it.
Yeah, unless you just have it in stock.
Stockpile.
Basically, everybody is out of bourbon because of what's going on between Canada and the U.S. I know that's not the biggest of issues, but like it's kind of annoying. Is what it is.
Yeah, I don't drink enough for it to matter.
And no, to New York Cent, we're not saying goodbye. We still have 50 minutes to go.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're not saying goodbye just yet.
No. We still got. It's only 3:10 right now. Wow, silver just went upside again for us right there. Wow, this stock is just booming right back up to the highs one more time. It's hi ho. It's off to work we go. It's silver just keeps on making new highs right now. What a stock. Like, I just started trading this SLV. Like, talk about late to the game here. Just started trading in the last couple of weeks, and silver's been a great addition to the show for sure. There, SLV, and thanks everybody for your help. Looking at that and talking about it in the chat. And there goes the market as well. Wow. Are we cooking or what right now, man? We've got like 3 very active, aggressive names. Like if you guys are here looking for, trades, this is what we got, man. Intel, silver, and the Nasdaq. Like these are 3 of the biggest names, 3 of the biggest things right now in the market. We've got the short on the Nasdaq, we've got the long in silver, and we've got the short in Intel. Like it's just turning out to be such a great afternoon. Everything's working. Often this is not the case. So I don't know. I kind of want to sit on all these, but like the futures just went down to lows again. So let's see if we can break a little lower now and see what we wind up doing. Maybe we just sit on our hands the rest of the day. I know I keep saying that.
That's how I roll. I mean, the way I see it, like this afternoon's been pretty, like IBIT trend broke and then just slid all the way down into VWAP. It's bouncing, so let Clean Spark be next. I've got my trend line, so I know where I'm getting out. Now it's a play into VWAP. Like it's stair step down. I'm getting out when it gets to VWAP or breaks the trend. The way I see it. But that being said, like I said this in the chat to somebody else that was asking about this afternoon. They're like, Intel's a trend break. It's going to reverse to the long. Would you look at it? And my response was, it's not the kind of, here, actually, do I still have it up? So like, it's not the kind of trend break that I like. Like, to me, one of the distinguishing things for a trend break is you would like it to be a, not parabolic, but a hefty move down. Not this really slow grinding move down. If it's a slow grinding and it's the entire day, fair enough, but that's not the all-day trend. It already broke the all-day trend and failed that. Like it's a very slow grind, and it was probably in here that they were arguing it did. And I said, well, it's also the kind of day where I've traded 7 stocks and 3 are green and 3 are red and 1 is flat and I am flat. So like just kind of let what works work and don't necessarily overtrade. Now, that's the way I want to look at it. I'm going to take a quick peek at the early look. Still, Stocks X, you see there, that Pfizer's pretty much nothing. To see Stocks S and Stocks L be reversed, and you just saw one flipped and was gone. But they were both 1 million buy, 1 million sell, which is an absolute nothing burger, obviously. XOM's a nothing burger as well. PG, if we want to talk about a stock that might be getting interesting, that no one ever talks about, or I shouldn't say no one, but is often not discussed, I think Procter is starting to look, it's already broken this downtrend, so I shouldn't say it's starting to look interesting. It started to look interesting a few dollars ago, but this has been not very productive for anybody, and is double bottomed and is now breaking higher. I think this has a little something going for it, PG. That imbalance shouldn't do anything to the stock. I think it's pretty useless for sure. Graphics saying DRCT. We missed it. Is that a small cap? Direct Digital?
Yeah, it was in our watch list.
Oh, this one. Okay. Yeah, this was man, these Friday charts, man. Friday charts. This one would have been the example of what Luis talks about when he comes on, where it's great if you're long early in the pre-market, but it's the perfect example, makes the high in the pre-market, fails the lower high after that, and then their edge is effectively just shorting after that. So it popped up here on some actual volume, but I think his stat and his edge was he said like 60% of the time on these types of things, they end up closing underneath. That doesn't necessarily mean you would short it here, but when they fail at the open, that's your chance to jump short. That's about as perfect as it gets, because right at the open, it ticks VWAP and then goes down, consolidate, drops down. Structurally, very, very good. Maybe it's a breakout for you this afternoon. What does the daily chart look like? Oh, reverse split special. Hate these. Reverse split, tank, reverse split. You know what usually happens next. So enjoy the run while it lasts. This is a habitual line stepper. Yikes, that's a really bad looking daily chart. So enjoy the ride while it lasts. Don't get caught in the offering or the inevitable. You know what happens next. I think we've all seen it. Great stock if you're able to catch those bottoms and day trade it here. But the swing trade on those is very, very perilous. So I'm just going to hang on. If we trail out, fair enough. But I'm waiting for my VWAP here. I see no reason to get out until we get it.
Yeah, like, I'm just getting out for profit everywhere. Like, there goes SLV. Like, now that is almost $1 and keeps going higher and higher and higher and higher. So I don't know. What's gold doing today? Let's go have a quick look at gold. All right, up 1.4%. So the silver metal that's shining right here is silver today. Let's check out what copper's doing, COPX. We can have a quick look over there as well. Thank you, MFD and Generous. We're trying to go. Copper up 5% as well. So that name just keeps on going. Wow, like, I don't know. I've chosen silver as my weapon of choice over the last couple of weeks, but copper could definitely have been something similar as well, as that continues to climb higher. Only 4 million shares there, as opposed to GLD is 18 million. And then silver's probably, I have no idea, 120.
Copper's not doing volume.
No, yeah. No, I mean, this is 120 million. So this suits my style basically perfectly. Right there. There goes silver, man. Absolute monster. All right, what's Tesla doing? Tesla's always a sleeping giant here as well. We can have a quick look and see what names you guys are pumping through on the stock visualizer. It looks like, I mean, I told you, I'm in all these names here. Like, we've got Intel, not all of them, obviously. There's Intel right there. All right, Netflix is a nice day, man. Up 2.4% today. All of these names look like they're green. The only one here, SanDisk, red. Tesla seems to be fighting the good fight, but maybe potentially losing it, as they're only down 0.3. Microsoft's had a pullback. That was up 5% last time we checked. CoreWeave, what's up with that one? Maybe near $100. Yeah. You know, I hope Sidhu just rips right there, because we had a violation on our picking. But there goes Sidhu, Cydia Space. That was
what day did we say?
A short, the 12th. That was a short for Obi right there. And it's kind of funny that he chose the short in the space sector.
Like, why that?
Space is, yeah, we'll have to ask him. No, I'm just playing around. I don't even know what price he's short at. So that's a nice move there. Silver up 6. Okay, we just talked about that. Microsoft, it's really nice to see Palantir where we are right here. 169. I mean, it does break through that 170. It gets as high as 172 today. That's PLTR. So we're gonna have a look at that stock as well later on. But I think it's SanDisk. I don't know anything, but what is AUST? We can have a quick look at that one. Yeah, there goes Tesla.
That's a gold company.
Oh, is it?
They were talking
what did I do?
about
What did I do?
They were talking about it in the midday. Well, I only know because while I was like eating lunch or something, I might have heard Sharif mentioning it. That is a Christmas tree retracement for AUST.
AUST.
Yikes.
Wow.
Well, we'll see what happens when you lose VWAP on a small capper. It gets nasty, nasty, nasty. All I was saying about Sidhu is I was just curious as to why this stock, as opposed, like there's a million small cappers which had just gone parabolic that you could take. I'm just curious why he picked on Sidus. And the space stocks.
He's just going to say the chart looked great, but come on.
No, well, I was joking around like beyond, because you could have had beyond. I think it was at exactly $1, which is why that one would have been funny. But I was just like, that wasn't what we were doing. I'm pretty sure, it was exactly $1 when we did it in the afternoon. And pretty much, I'm like, you just take the $1 short, but then it goes 10% against you. So, I don't know. I think this stock is the problem with doing this for a competition like that is, within a 1 year time frame, like the person was beyond me, well, they could just easily go bankrupt, and then good luck beating that person. And if like there's no out, so it's like either I'm going to destroy everybody and you can't possibly beat a person that has the one that goes bankrupt, but there has to be some kind of an out. Because like, what if BME goes to $10? Because
I've already disqualified.
My whole
Obi.
thing is like the reason I was like I wouldn't take Beyond Meat at $1 is because if you have to hold it for the entirety of the year, like let's say it goes to $10 in June, does what it normally does, and then like falls right back in and ends the year going bankrupt. Well, then technically you could be up like maybe it's at like 20 cents when it goes to the OTC, right? So like you just went down like 80%, and so that's a huge win.
Yeah.
But I had to hold it against you like out 1,000%.
Yeah.
That was more to the whole. Like, I think that's just it causes a problem for any kind of like put 10,000 into something when you don't have that kind of an out.
Yeah.
But I still think that's like a reasonable bet in Beyond Meat is short one and give it to like $1.15. That's actually pretty reasonable. And anyways, it doesn't really matter. Let's go to Adara at the desk, and then when we come back, we got a super chat.
To be aware here, guys, U.S. President Donald Trump just posted on Truth Social, nothing huge, but he is talking about Greenland, basically saying that he doesn't like that he believes that Canada is against building the Golden Dome, and he doesn't like that Canada, I guess, entered that agreement with China. So just be aware here, potentially keep an eye on Chinese ADRs, maybe keep an eye on CRML. Post about Greenland. Back to you.
Uh-oh.
Okay, more posts about Greenland there. We got one from Danny Boy there. You can put up the super chat when we get it. Again, not yet. We'll get it soon.
Okay. Oh, well, before that, how about we, because now that's going to be blocking, but
All right,
$20 for Danny's Boy. I owe an apology to everyone who invested in my company, SCD. Stolen Cheese, but dude, I leveraged everything to be in Stolen Cheese Dispenser Incorporated. This is my whole life savings around.
I wonder if there was
as soon as I received all the IPO money, I invested it all in Sable Offshore, which immediately dumped 17%. Oh, you put it in SOC? Well, what was the deal? What happened to Sable?
This guy's like BMNR, man. This guy's just taking all the money and putting it wherever
No, but Sable got moked from news in the midday. So I'm not sure why would you put it into this? You had a foolproof cheese dispenser idea that everybody could have been using, and it would have been the next big thing. I think you had some growth potential issues because the whole idea of stealing dispensers from bathrooms to put cheese in it, you're going to have a limit if your only supply was going into bathrooms and stealing them. But I think you had such a great theoretical idea. Why go put it into the worst stock today, or one of the worst stocks? Well, you could have put it into Intel, and that would have been a heck of a lot worse. But it is what it is. We do want to give this super chat and that analysis of SOC and a great, fantastic opportunity brought to you by PDS Biotechnology. They're PDSB on the Nasdaq, and they're transforming how the immune system targets and fights cancer, with an initial focus on HPV-16 positive head and neck cancers. HPV-16 can cause head and neck cancer, and more people are facing these high-risk cancers than ever before. HPV-16 positive head and neck cancers are projected to become the most common type of head and neck cancer in the U.S. in a few years. You can learn more at www.pdsbiotech.com. Want to shout out to them and thank them for sponsoring the show. Obviously, if you are not tuning in the morning, we are just joking around with that idea. But it's not a joke that SOC got smoked today in the middle of the day. Bizbot, Trump and I are both suing Danny over SDCI.
It's a tough world out there.
A tough one.
Tough one. I mean, you can't go out and dump shareholder money into whatever you want unless you're Tom Lee and BMNR, of course. I mean, you thought you're investing in BMNR and you're just going to be getting Ethereum, but no, you are now a stakeholder in Mr. Beast, and I think a few other things as well. But there's BMNR just absolutely crushed with Ethereum as well. You can, when Tom Lee's counting all of his cash, you guys can thank him for that. But
you can't say with Ethereum because the BMNR chart and the ETH chart are not
the same.
It's like MSTR and Bitcoin.
They were disconnected from the beginning, man.
Exactly.
They were never connected. And you just really had basically I'm going to call it a little bit of a scam there, but everybody that was involved in it, got it hit to the upside. The rich get richer, and the rest of us just wind up holding the bag. So let's see if BMNR winds up sitting in and around here, $24, $25. Like, that should be a zone. I mean, it looks like a buy zone right now. So if you've lost money or you're still holding the bag, watch out here for that break lower. which was obviously hit down at the beginning. We'll see what happens now with BMNR. And I'm just, I hope that you guys are short, actually. Underneath the 50-period moving average, this one, BitMine right there. Do your research
Look at that. If you go back,
that
sorry,
stuff.
you have that
Wow,
daily chart up a
silver's
quick
still
second?
going. Yeah.
Just wanted to show. So go back to that. Go back to the low in November.
Yeah, this right here. Yeah. 25.
Yeah, like November. If you look at it, like look at the difference between that and ETH. So like you have that same bottom. It's downward sloping into that low on BMNR. On ETH, into the same support, it's upward sloping. So yes, you are holding on to the same line, but one of these two things is bouncing off it in an uptrend, and the other one is bouncing off it in a downtrend. Like that suggests to me that there's maybe even some like long ETH short, like it's just like long one short the other that Wall Street's putting on this thing, which has been all sorts of trouble for MSTR.
Wall Street.
So you could, that's the problem with those vehicles. If you like ETH, just get ETH. Get away, ad. Yeah, I don't know, man. I still have some ETH, but mostly Bitcoin. But yeah, why not just be in the actual instrument? But again, if you believe in BMNR, you believe in BMNR. Who am I to say? To each their own is the best point for that. Well, as a trading vehicle, I think if it breaks through that support level, that's a flat bottom break I'd be involved in the day it happens. Especially if ETH decides that we're breaking support. Like if ETHA is breaking like 28, it should be like 2,800 on Ethereum. If that's breaking 2,800, I think the punch short's not ETHA. I think the punch short is BMNR.
All right, we got stuff out of Intel, but as one goes down, one goes up. I don't know, like Intel made the move higher, but nothing's, I'm like watching, I didn't even realize Intel was doing that because what Intel was going up right there, we were light, man. We told you we were getting out if it breaks 45. So there's the out there on Intel. That was just an absolute, like if we had held it the whole way, we would have been stopped out for flat, but good job just taking all these fills, a lot of fills, just baby fills along the way, but good job on that one. And then here we go, man, the market makes a move right into VWAP again. So we'll take that fill one more time down there and then see where we go. It's only 3:30. There's still lots of time to go before we are done with it. And then silver as well just took, yeah, it's tough on this one. You got to zoom out, get rid of those. Yeah, there's a bad wick. There's something activating down here. But yeah, so more outs just in the last 5 minutes. There's a bunch of outs up here. It looks like we're kind of trying to finally base out. This is what I thought was happening in this area, and then we took off. So maybe we do start taking off. I've adjusted the stop rate here, 92.30. It's actually at 92.25, so if we break through there, then we'll get out of the rest. The position is now under 10%. Obviously wish we had a little more than that on board, but we don't. So out of 10%, only in 10% out of 90% right there. So yeah, you know what? I don't know, T-Daddy. I mean, there's literally no rules about this stuff, but you know why he keeps doing it? Because these guys all get paid, man. That's why they go on to these shows. It's just like Josh Brown. None of his stocks would move if he wasn't able to pump them, right? So you got to be careful with all of that stuff, and just be careful what you're listening to and do your own research. It's not, there's really nothing about it. Anybody can go on and talk about their stock. We had Elon Musk go out there, talk about it. If he wants to talk about BMNR being this treasury play or whatever, then you can follow him to that. I mean, Alex Karp goes and talks about Palantir. I'm not hating against that. Josh Brown's has his own IRA, whatever, works for Ritholtz, I believe. So he can go in there and talk about the positions that his clients have and hope they go higher. It's his opinion it is going to go there. So just like us, man, we can sit on here and say, well, we like Microsoft, or we like this, or we like that. And, to each their own. So everybody, do your own work on all of that and just make sure that you're protecting your neck and have a stop order. Like you don't have to listen to that guy that says silver is just getting started. You can start to get out. There's some people in our chat here that was like, they have some FOMO because they got out of silver a long time ago. It's like, okay, I mean, as long as you're holding something for the ride higher, because things could always go the other way. You could hold Intel, you could hold CRM. Like there's little different things.
Oh, don't we CRM?
that move around.
Yeah, how do we get from silver to Intel to
Well,
CRM?
People holding the bag today on Intel. Intel's down 18%.
Oh, I know. CRM's, at least Intel's coming off the high.
No, but CRM, what I'm saying is like you could have got out just a week ago of CRM at these levels, and then all of a sudden, whoops, all the way to the downside again. So like, I'm sure people up here were like, okay, it's finally starting to go. It's finally starting to go, and then it doesn't. So
230 is the only place that stock is.
You gotta just, you gotta watch out for these things, man.
See, that's the only place it has been. I have nothing against somebody. You could what do you expect somebody to say if they own the stock? I think it becomes a difference if somebody is actively selling or getting out of or covering as they're pumped. Like that's where I would take issue. It's like, okay, well, if the whole time while you're saying you love something, that's when you're getting exit liquidity.
I mean, do we know if he's still in?
I don't know. Like, I don't know enough.
I'm sure that he was doing that.
I don't know enough about it. Like, I just when it comes to the like, I have nothing against Michael Saylor. Like, I own Bitcoin. I'm not a believer in MSTR. Like, I just I can like Bitcoin without having to believe what he believes. We have another super chat. GLD often up leading to an event on the weekend. Why are we putting event in air quotes? Well, we're expecting there to be some kind of crazy action. It's hard to. We live in kind of an environment where we've been seeing, some geopolitical things happen. We just had a big event with Davos and with the Greenland story, and then you go to the Venezuela. Whoa, we just. Let me just spike this. This is the same thing that happened before in Bitcoin. We just had a spike into the volume weighted average price all of a sudden out of nowhere. Boom. And it just kind of got everything lower. So sitting on the bid there at VWAP, we finally got it. So I can cancel my trailing stop. We're not going to need that anymore. Okay, so that worked out. And I just lost my train of thought. No, I don't think we're expecting an event. It's just that there's headline risk, it seems like every single weekend. So if there's headline risk, shocking things, and the metals are the safe haven play, then that makes sense that they would be bullish on a Friday. Like, that's the risk off for those would be to the upside, right? Instead of to the downside. You don't sell, you'd be buying that protection, I suppose. That makes a lot of sense to me. We're not expecting anything over the weekend. You just never know.
No, you never know. I mean, look, any geopolitical event, man, I'm buying the dips. We've seen that so many times. We had one on Tuesday. It was a great dip buy opportunity. I don't think we've had a red day since the Greenland debacle. Well, we talked about that already. So, SoFi reports, was it the 29th or 30th? Yeah, it's 30th Friday, so a week today for SoFi. I like the stock, I really do. This would be, like, it's too bad J&J's not still, or JPM's not still high, because I would almost sell that and buy SoFi at some of these levels. I think SoFi's going to have a bang-up quarter, man. I mean, Robinhood's getting hit, SoFi's getting hit because Bitcoin's going to the downside. SoFi don't give a shit about Bitcoin, honestly, man. I think that SoFi, they're the bank, right? Robinhood's not a bank. Robinhood's an app. SoFi does have their charter banking license. I think that the more customers these guys can get under their wing, the better it's going to be. Most of their customers are young customers, and I think that's what the market's looking for. I think they should be able to guide a little bit forward here for SoFi. But, I mean, it's at a flat bottom break. I mean, this goes all the way back to August right here of $25. So this it does not look good at all. Like, there's nothing wrong with, being a little cautious heading into earnings. But this is not, I don't have as much in this as I did in Intel just because of how much Intel matured. But I did look, man, we're up over a lot on SoFi as well. I mean, buying some of those bottoms down there was crazy. But SoFi right here just looks like it's trying to figure itself out. I would not be surprised if we do dip down in earnings. I mean, if anything, the banks have told us one thing this earnings season, and that was to not be in financials. So that's probably why SoFi is getting the downside treatment here. But there's such an early day bank that I don't know what they're going to tell, so I would say stay away if you're somewhat cautious about SoFi. But if you are in this stock, and if you're in anywhere above where we're in here, I would just say hold on. I'm going to say hold on no matter where you're in. But I like SoFi, and we'll see. Their implied move is going to be like probably 10%. So if Capital One right now today is down 6.5%, 7%, I would think SoFi has the chance to be down this much as well, or up. So, you're just going to have to sort of plug your nose and bear it as SoFi comes out with their report. Did I just get out of something? No, I didn't. So silver did make a move down. I did offer out and get out a little bit. I've changed my out, remember. Now I got to change it again. It's still at 92.25. I'll just keep it there. We don't have many shares left. Only 30 minutes now until the close and 17 minutes until those imbalances. So, yeah, this week has been, I just saw someone there in the chat, JL82. It has been pretty sideways.
I mean, the Nasdaq would kind of suggest otherwise.
Yeah.
I mean, well, if you
right back to where Tuesday was.
Like, we had a lot of volatility.
Oh yeah, tons of
in the middle of the week, obviously with the Greenland story. So it was like, okay, we're just kind of in the bottom of the range at the beginning of the week, and then Trump with the Greenland story, and then we bounce up, and then the last back in a couple of days, we don't really do much of anything. But if there was volatility this week, I just feel like you spent a lot of time barcoding. and then you had a couple of moments to pounce early on in the week. So I'd say I'd agree with half of that. But the other way to look at this is if stocks get boring at highs, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. You know, it's not always bad enough. Sometimes we get like complacent because you get topping, you get toppy here like we did last year, and then of course we have like the tariff tantrum on the pullback. What looked like a normal pullback ends up being a rather extended one. But until proven otherwise, I like consolidations. I feel like in upward trends, consolidations tend to resolve themselves more bullish than bearish in uptrends. So we're always really afraid that boring here is going to mean this to the downside. I'm not really at that point yet. We're going to need more than just Intel going down 18% to feel bearish. Like, talk to me next week when we get Apple, when we get Meta, when we get Microsoft. Then we can have some different feels. When we get Caterpillar. Like, then we can have some real different feels. ASML. That'll tell us what the market's going to do. Intel is not even remotely. Intel and Netflix, they're just not even remotely indicative of the markets. And then when you look at the bank pullbacks, they haven't been that bad. I'd be more concerned about what's happening with JPM and some of the banks. Like, if they lose the 200-period moving average, I think we got some issues there. Yeah, when they start to get weak, bit of a bigger problem. Good for trading, it's just not always good for your long-term account when the banks lose strength. We're counting on JP to bounce off the 200-period moving average. Although the one I kind of like for the dip buy is not JP Morgan, it's not BAC, it's not Wells Fargo. Well, I've already typed in Morgan Stanley, so it's Morgan Stanley because I already typed it in, so there's no point me. I was trying to be like all like coy about it, but then it was already on the chart. No, I kind of like this one a bit better. If this bounces next week off the 50 period, I already own them. It would just be picking up some more on the uptrend. I prefer this now to XLF.
Yeah, XLF had that nice little move down. Yeah, JP, yeah, what's up, Joe? Joe in the chat. Yeah, I talked about that being one of your picks there, JP Morgan. It's been bad, but it's okay. All these picks are for the year. And so if we like the bank sector, maybe it's time to buy a little bit right now. We can have a quick little look. I know on the midday show they looked at Dogecoin. For some reason, that is the one that Obi's in. I thought he said he's in a lot higher, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, here's Bitcoin. Well, I mean, pretty much most people, I would say. I mean, you can't be in any better prices in Bitcoin and any of these names. I mean, they're near the lows of the last 6 months or so, Bitcoin and so on, unless you're able to buy this, you know, low 80s. But here we go today. It's not overly exciting, but the last week's been a little rough, down 10% on Ethereum. And I was just, you know, what I was saying about BMNR and Tom Lee, I mean, you know, it's because the price of Ethereum. You know, you can't set up a trust, and it's not like he pumped something. It's just that's Ethereum. Everyone's got to get in and get out whenever they see fit with crypto, right? I mean, it goes back and forth. That is for sure. There's Tether, that's okay. Ripple, still trying to hold out for $2 on that one. It's been bouncing around $2 for a while. XRP, we talked about that XXRP, decent ETF to trade. I think it's 2 or 3 times levered. Solana still, every time I look at this thing, it's like around that 125, which is funny because that's half price. Its high is 250 there as well. There's Dogecoin, wow, 12%. Look at this, down 9, down 10, you know. Solana down 11, like it's been bad. If anything, Bitcoin looks like one of the more solid ones up there, only down that 6%. And Bitcoin to me lost its mojo, man, because it's supposed to be like just cruising with geopolitical, with if I told you that silver was up 180% or whatever it was, you would have thought that Bitcoin would have followed trend on that, right? No, not. Bitcoin was either, I think it was flat on the year. We looked at that, while obviously gold being up 70%, silver being up 150%, copper being up, you would have thought that crypto would have been able to sort of follow that lead, but it's not, so we got to watch out for that. But right now, silver continues to get a little bit higher, and yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not sure what to do with silver. Boeing's been a great look as well, as we talk about some more defensive names, and we diversify our portfolio and get into Boeing down there near $200. It didn't look good when we got into 200 the first time. It went down to 180, but then now it's been like this is another parabolic mover, you know. So whenever Boeing reports, that's another name that I'll probably. They haven't yet, of course. Oh, it's in 4 days. Oh my God, Tuesday, January 27th.
Oh,
so
shoot, that was on that. Oh, pre-market. That's why.
Yeah, I think I will. Okay, you're getting close. Yep. All right. So probably on Monday or Tuesday, I will get out of some of the Boeing position again. You know, if we get up to 260, which would be great, that's $60 on 200. So we have to get something out. You know, this is how we keep the portfolio where it needs to be, man. Get into some cash, buy some GICs or whatever, sit in cash for a minute, or just sit in a cash ETF and get some money on your cash holdings. But I think Boeing, again, another name, nothing wrong with trimming it as you get into their earnings calls. So yeah, Tuesday there for earnings. Yeah, so Boeing just keeps on going, and I think you could get a flush or you could get a rip, but either way, I'll be taking some out. And, you know, the prudent investor in me was able to get out of a little bit of Intel. You know, we make mistakes sometimes. You get out and you don't put the cash anywhere else. So we'll have to see what happens with Intel. At some point, it's going to be a buyback. I don't mind the stock. I want to hear what the U.S. government has to say. 260 million shares today traded. So I feel like there's been some liquidation, and I wouldn't be surprised if we hear about that in the upcoming days and weeks.
Yeah, well, they have such a big stake. Like, so they have 10% of the company. The next big, like BlackRock is like 8, and we could look, BlackRock and Vanguard are like the biggest shareholders of everything, so that's not that big of a deal. But they're like, BlackRock and Vanguard are both in the 8% range. So for the U.S. government to be at 10 is it's insane. Like, how could they not be ringing the old register? Like, you think Donald Trump's not like, oh my goodness, look at that return. We got 200 and whatever percent. Let's ring the register and do whatever it is that they do with that. But I will say a couple of questions about what's going on with the drones. What goes up must come down. Like AVAV was clean off the 200. I think next week is the retest of the 50-period moving averages. Pull back into 3. I was saying in the morning, this went from 250 to 400. Like, there is no planet in the world where like I said, the first third I got out, I did not even get anything out up here. I think I sold it at 330 something. The first third was kind of holding for a test of 420 up here. It never broke 400, so I still have 2/3 of this thing. And I won't buy back in. Outside of the 200 period, I won't buy back in unless maybe the 50 period holds next week. So that's what I'm looking for this stock. This is an explosive and volatile stock, no questions asked. What was 340? I was going to have another look at the early look. Still nothing, just Pfizer. It's a name we literally never talk about. SOXL still there for a buy. GDX is a small sell, 900,000 shares. That's kind of a nothing burger. Pfizer at. Out of my own personal curiosity, every time I pull up this stock, it's at 25 or 26 bucks. When was the last time this was not at this stock has not moved in like forever. What do you even do with Pfizer? You sit around and collect the dividend, I suppose. But at some point, you do that for too long and you just get yourself in trouble. But it is basing out pretty nicely. Yeah, these guys got to figure it out. They're just getting left behind in the GLP game. That's all that's happening to Pfizer. Yuckity yuck yuck. So I'm probably gonna. Was going to bid at 75. I'm just gonna get on the bid at 75. Rivian looks like this one has found a temporary bottom for the last 10 minutes here, or maybe like even 15 minutes at the lows. Rivian another 3% down for Rivian today. This one is on a collision course with the 200 period moving average. Been shorted all day, and it hasn't really stopped going down at any point.
Rivian, yeah, Rivian. Yeah, I probably should have looked at Tesla again. All right, man, silver, we just got a 75 fill. That's a dollar club, so we'll put that in the club again right there and just relax and, you know, wish we had held more. Yeah, you looked at Rivian, look at Tesla. You want to talk about a sideways market today. Tesla is exactly that, moving pretty sideways. Right now, not much going on. We can take a look at Ford and GM, or you know, that AUST stock for you guys as well, and see what that stock wants to do. Just trying to get our orders figured out here into the close. We're adjusting some of our stop orders. We've been adjusting this silver trade downside as well as we keep on trying to respect the 50 period moving average, so that's now at 92.45. So let's adjust that. We just keep on adjusting it on the way back upside. So, and we keep selling on the way higher. So this is just trade is getting much better. And I'm learning every single day how to properly, you know, hold on to things a little bit longer and see if we can take advantage of some of these crazy moves that we've seen over the last little while, and especially here in the TQs is right there. We just had to move down into the 20s again. I think taking something out here in the 50 period moving average might be worth it, so we'll just put a bid there and try not to get out of everything. So there's a fill, and we'll wait for a lower take. You just got 20 cents, just got 20 Intel March 20 calls, so 50 cents there. Good job, we'll put that up. So you just made some nice plays there, and what does it say? An artist An artistic lady right there. Just got 20 cents on Intel March 2050 calls. So nice move. Yeah, I think if you're going to go on Intel, you might want to extend it like that. I think the March is probably a good job there. I don't know.
Give yourself some time.
Yeah, give yourself a little bit of time there just in case. But yeah, good job there, Artistic. Looks like you've got it there with your options plays. So yeah, there goes Intel back up through 45. We did really well getting out of this one near the lows. Took advantage of some of that price movement today and was a good one today for Intel. We said that that break of 50 was going to be a hero trade, but unfortunately it happens yesterday at 5 o'clock. And there we go, man. Palantir moving into the close. Some people saying that's good. Not to talk, we always talk about silver. What about Robinhood? We had a little talk about SoFi there. I know Joe's in chat as well. I know he likes Robinhood. I like Robinhood too. I just think that it's just near this area. For all of these names, just like a SoFi, it is, all right, hold on, get rid of that.
Look at the 100 level on the daily.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we've been looking at. We called 99 a while ago. It looks like that's gonna play, but yeah, right now, waiting for Robinhood to come out with some reports. I don't think the tokenization of anything solves anything, but you know, they want to tokenize some stocks. I think that'll allow them to do real-time settlement. It'll allow you know, easier partial shares. I don't think that's a game changer. If anything, I think if you're buying on that, that's not good. Let's just wait to see what the fundamentals are, right?
It's better for us than it is for them. Think of it that way.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Like,
I think
us is in like the trading community.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's I don't know what to think about that technology, but yeah, Robinhood up 1.5%, so it's actually bucking the trend today, right? So out of all the banks continue to fall down, you know, the name that I might like the most heading into this year is Goldman, because, and like Morgan you mentioned, these guys have a lot of hopefully tailwinds with all the mergers and acquisitions and IPOs that are slated for this year. Morgan Stanley and JP.
In defense, though,
and Goldman Sachs
of JP Morgan, it's actually, I just trailed out of Rivian. It looks like it's making a minor bounce here. Hey, my Rivian chart has these crazy wicks up here too.
I don't know, there's something going on.
But no, JP Morgan is making bank regardless of how this Warner Brothers deal works out. It doesn't matter who gets him. It does, as long as there is a deal. JP
I thought they're only making 150 million or something.
Yeah, but still, it's like.
But that's what they make a day.
Yeah, but it's the business that they're in.
Yes, of course. That's
Like,
why we love it.
As long as there continue to be big deals, they just have this like. It's not a monopoly because there's a few of them, right? But at the same time, it's like any IPO. Well, who do you think's the underwriter of every big IPO? It's the same. It's always like 2 or 3 of the same names. Who's behind the next big deal that happens? Like, who's going to bank from it? Like, the next time when Pfizer finally figure out what big acquisition they want to make in the space, well, who do you think is going to make money off of that?
They did. Pfizer bought whatever that GLP.
Yeah, well, I'm using it as an example.
Yeah.
It's just all they do is print money. At some point, I always think the banks are a dip buy. Like, the only thing that that's not fair to say, because there's other stocks that I bought and never been out of before. But I can say I've never bought a bank in my long-term account and ever completely gotten out of it. Even when I hated TD Bank for a while, I still held on to a good piece of it.
Yeah, we got the dividend there.
Yeah, it's just like they're just so solid as a part of your portfolio, generally speaking. Like, I might prefer one a little bit here or there. Maybe I'm buying a different one, but I ain't never getting out of all of it together. Because whenever I look at like the monthly chart, I'm just like, how could I possibly sell all of this? It makes no sense. David, a couple of dates to keep an eye on: February 20th and March, Friday the 13th. Oh, we got a Friday
data. Well, we just got a good GDP number. It wasn't over 4.5%.
Oh yeah, back to back some good GDP.
4.4 or something like that on that.
Does the market actually care about Friday the 13th? Is there?
No. I think it's the other way around. I actually think Friday the 13th is awful, what we all think. Yeah, I think it's actually one of the good things.
Why February 20th? Just out of curiosity, I saw.
I think wasn't he saying that's a GDP or?
Oh, February 20th is the GDP.
Yeah.
And then March, Friday the 13th. Okay.
Okay, makes a little bit of sense there.
April 20th would you care about?
Yeah, April the 20th.
Buy Tesla on April 20th.
420. Yeah, Wall Street has left for an early lunch there, TPS report. I think you are probably right. We'll put that up as well, right there. I think you're probably right about this one. You know, the only thing here that I'm looking at right now is silver. There we go. Silver now officially $1 in. Now we're at 81. All right, let's just get some out at 81 then. Whatever, man. We're now 1 minute away from these imbalances, so they'll come out. Silver probably will move. I mean, silver always has something here. I'm just going to get rid of the broker side of this, and then just get ready to show you only New York, only Nasdaq, and Amex, and boom, very, very soon here coming out on SLV. We should be able to hit that in just a couple of seconds. Yeah, other than that, man, the Nasdaq. Let's get out of the majority of our piece right here on the Nasdaq. We'll put some 39 bids and see if we can grab that out now on that, and we'll see what moving forward means here for the Nasdaq. And as these imbalances come out, so Neil, we're only 20 seconds away, and then we'll see what.
Oh, shout out to Darth Trader, member for 6 months.
Yes, Darth Trader.
We love it. Happy Friday. Have a great long weekend to yourself as well, and stay warm, everybody. If you are in the U.S., also here in Canada, it's going to get ridiculously cold. Well, it's already ridiculously cold. You're going to get a lot of snow. Everyone stay safe for sure. 5 seconds, less than 5 seconds till the imbalances come out. That's a buyout that'll move pennies. What else we have here? Nothing? CLT?
Is it not updated yet? Microsoft sell, that's a big one that I'm seeing. CRML a buy.
$1 million though.
Apple, yeah, they're not huge. Apple's a sell. I don't know what C1 is.
That's a buyout.
Yeah, oh, there it is. Okay, there's CRML right there. So this might be a decent one for the size of it, but 40 million, only 600,000. Yeah, so that
ONDS
was it TPS reports there who said that? I think you're right, man. There's really no action on here right now. So didn't Schlumberger today, Adara, have some sort of news? SLB, I think we talked about that earlier.
They had earnings. They were really, really strong, like 9:45 when they had the call. I'll pull up the chart now. I haven't really looked at it since. Yeah, it gave up like that whole move, but yeah, it's probably still green. I can't really tell.
No, it just went red. Yeah, well, that kind of sucks for Schlumberger. Oh, that's a really bad setup. Yay for about 5 minutes. That's great. Like this is the best thing about day trading is there is a trader somewhere who just took the $50 break at the open, and you could have just been there whole day. You're in at 50, scalp 51, scalp 51.5, maybe put a trailing stop in, it trails out, and that's your entire day. And a stock that spent the entire day basically trending down, you could have just won if you just took that breakout trade, but that is what it is. I was saying ONDS has a sell. That's kind of a popular stock. Oh. It's 1 million shares to the sell side, but it's actually moving up right now on ONDS, although down 3.5%. So nothing too crazy.
Noodles is just one. Dare sent it to us already. So the market is 85 million to sell.
85?
85 million to sell. Nasdaq is 314 to sell. And that's that. So yeah, the market overall 85 million. Yeah, so pretty small today. Expecting
that's basically zero, actually.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, normally you're like in the billions sometimes when it gets really exciting, but small one there. All right, Adair, what you got for us?
I saw an updated print. Apparently now it's like just under 50 million to sell, so even smaller. I just saw a headline on a firm, AFRM reportedly, according to, I guess, a dark web informer on X, a firm that experienced a 26 million user breach. So apparently, again, Affirm's reportedly their BNPL service allegedly breached, exposing 26 million users, almost 27 million users. That is just reported by X. If I get more information, I will let you know. But I also want to let you guys know here, we have a new infographic coming out tomorrow. This is a very detailed breakdown of Netflix's Q4 2025 earnings. I have a similar one for Intel coming out tonight after the bell. If you guys like this different kind of earnings breakdown, please let me know. You can take me right here in the chat at Daryl LePage, because I want to make sure I'm getting content for you guys on X at TTV Research that we could all benefit from. So this is a really fun infographic. Like I said, it's not live yet. You can check that out tomorrow around noon, but it shows a whole bunch of different metrics for Netflix's quarter. Back to you.
It's snowing like a
mofo.
Yeah, Marissa just apparently it's horrible outside right now. It's yeah.
No, this is not. I'm not even making this. I'm going to Rodney's to meet a buddy. 2 years ago, right around the same time, we went on a Friday night and it was a crazy storm was coming. It was so bad.
Next time, forewarn us.
Spent way too much time. Let's just say I'm not saying we closed down the next place that we went to, but we might as well have. So I come out in the street and it is just pandemonium. I don't know how bad it is till I walk out in the street. There's no getting an Uber. There's no getting a cab.
Yeah.
And then thankfully, this is pretty late. We have a buddy who at the time I'm like, okay, well, he's a bachelor right now. And he's,
Yeah, it was Brian, wasn't it?
It was Brian. I'm just like, well, maybe this.
But how long ago was that?
It was more than 2 years ago then.
2 years ago. Brian's been married for 10 years, man.
Okay, well, it was way
Bachelor.
No, but it was crazy.
What do you want to tell me? I got to phone Brian's
like
wife over here.
2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, this guy needs to be awake because like this is like I'm going to his place, it's straight up. So and homeboy's like, yeah, you got my couch, no issues whatsoever. But we're getting that kind of a storm tonight, and I cannot stand.
Wow, how time flies.
I don't mind when it's like ridiculously cold, but you get that, and you get the wind and the snow. And
I just told Marissa, I was like, you want to stay in tonight? We can order in ramen. So I'm trying to get her to want to stay in because we have our date night. So the kids will like that too. It's funny, like my son won't eat any vegetables, but last night, sushi, no problem. He'll eat the raw salmon on top of the rice. He'll eat everything, but he won't like broccoli. No way.
No one,
But if it's inside the little rolls, he's all about that. All right, no matter where everybody is this weekend, make sure you do have a good time. And I'm feeling very, very lucky that
fireplace.
Yeah, we do have the ability to be at home with loved ones, and I just hope that all of you guys have the same experience and stay warm and stay inside. And we'll be back on Monday, no matter what. We're here every single day. The market is open. Even when we can't, shovel out of our driveway, we're still coming in every day. I want to say shout out to Ramin who came in today. Shout out to Andre, everybody that's in the back there. Fabian, how's it going, my friend? And Dara, Sia left already. Sharif's gone.
Chilling.
Joe's coming back on Monday, Joe. Minus 40 with the wind chill? Hold on a second.
Where?
There. Maybe
Who's got minus 40?
Probably we do, bro. Why would it not be us? Right now. It's supposed to be minus 50 this weekend right now.
Minus 40 is a problem.
Look, my phone just says Toronto there. There's the stuff from Apple. Thanks, Apple. I will close that and reopen it right now. Yeah, no,
Dad's complaining.
it just feels like minus 22. That's Celsius, so it's not minus 40 here yet. And that's, of course, 32 degrees is 0. So right now we're at minus 13 Celsius. I have no idea what that is Fahrenheit right now.
Because apparently it's not that bad in Halifax, and they're coming back today.
The snow that's coming on.
I don't like broccoli. No.
I like broccoli.
I don't like broccoli. No, no. Ramin usually comes over here
Fresh
with like
broccoli is
chocolate
good.
or like some cookies or candy. I don't want no broccoli.
Yeah, where's one of those turtles?
I eat every vegetable, and I love my vegetables.
What am I doing?
I
Like
don't
4
like
minutes
broccoli.
left. Okay.
I don't like cauliflower. Well, cauliflower, I'm kind of.
Cauliflower.
Brussels sprouts. That's what I'm talking about.
Make it
That's
rain,
what
girl.
I'm talking about.
Make that rain on here. Adara, dark chocolate,
right
Adara,
here.
dark chocolate turtle. Are you able to catch?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Might not work, but we'll try.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, that's perfect. Oh. What are you, a Buffalo Bills receiver over there? That hit you right in the hands. Hit you right in the hands.
That was a catch.
I'm from Jordan Love right there.
It was a catch. He controlled it to the ground. His knee was. I have not ranted about
dark
this.
chocolate.
And I've wanted to. I have not said a word until right now. Brandon Cooks caught that ball, and we should have kicked a field goal, and we should be beating.
Hey, Josh Allen ain't him, man. We already talked about this. All right, so hopefully.
He's still the best. I love you, Josh. You're still the man.
He's still.
But we better. I'm telling you right now.
It's not a playoff performer.
Buffalo Bills are literally. They're going to interview Phillip Rivers. The guy coaches high school football.
The Bills are a dumpster fire.
Except we're just better. We're so good that everyone's like, oh.
You're like a platinum dumpster fire.
That's what they say. Though we're better than you guys.
Nah, probably not.
Right now we are.
Probably not. Okay, so look, the TQs, I don't know what's going to happen. We talked about how it was like a sideways sort of a week, right? We're kind of going to end the week where we started the week. Now, people talking about there could be some, people talking that there could be some turmoil this weekend. If there is, I think we want to buy the dips and all this. I still think that there's like an underlying deal that's going to happen between Canada and the U.S. like very, very soon. I don't. I get that feeling right now. Okay, we're gonna get out of everything right now. Silver, I'm just gonna let's just get out of everything. There we go. So we're out of everything. We're flat right now. No positions across the board. We'll end the day here with the S&P 500 flat. Partly because of all these bank stocks and all the problems in bank land right now. But here's the map. We're going to see Microsoft, Meta, Palantir, Netflix. Like these are, big green names today. When you have a name like Google downside, Broadcom downside, Oracle downside, IBM reporting next week downside. A lot of these names are going to change. their whole trajectory next week because, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, pretty much every name on here is reporting. Not every name, but we got Apple, we got IBM. We already talked about Meta as well. And then the banks. No, actually, Meta's not next week. This is the problem right here in the S&P 500 today. And then also, you know, Caterpillar's involved. We have the Dow Jones today downside. And then into healthcare as well. You know, a big part of the Dow, a big part of the S&P 500 downside. When energy's up, energy is such a small percentage of the S&P 500 right now that it's not really going to affect it so much, right? But energy, nicely printing there. We did have someone in the chat mention, you know, watch out for Iran this week. There could be some news coming out of there, so we'll have to pay attention to see if anything goes. And that would maybe help out the silver trade. That's still going higher right now into the close. So, you know, we'll hold out that everything's cool. Davos is now behind us. We have the midterms coming up in the United States. That could be another.
That should be a pretty decent deal.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
No, the bigger deal is going to be next week. It's about earnings, man. That's all we care about. We care about the big names that are coming through. Wednesday is going to be an absolute barn burner, starting off with ASML overnight, and then we're going to get the big three as well, big caps. But the closing bell to end the week, brought to you by PDS Biotechnology, PDSB on the Nasdaq, and we can ring said closing bell. Ding, 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 ding. We have
a bell. I don't know why we don't.
haven't got the protocol to resume actually.
See, like Brendan leaves before the show is over because it's bad weather. You see what I'm saying over here? Like we have to go to 4 o'clock.
Someone's gotta ring
Brendan's
the bell.
already out of here.
Like next time I'll just get up myself and do it. I completely forgot that we even had it. We got to get back in the routine.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. Adair could ring it. She's right there. You know, any time.
Someone's got to
over there.
lower it.
All right, man. Good week. Everything. It's 4 o'clock now. We've had a great. Yeah, frozen. Oh no, our cameras are now frozen. Damn it.
That's not bad. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the metal rooster. Yeah, you know what? You always want me to wear that salmon shirt. Okay, I'm gonna have to remember to wear that on Monday.
It's sweater weather.
It's
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I have my bromance vest over there. Finance Bros vest over there.
Right, I'll wear a dress shirt, and then I'm wearing the Finance Bros thing on Monday. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, I'll probably do that as well.
How come I didn't get one of those vests?
What?
How come Ramin didn't get one
Yeah,
of those
the
vests?
ice vest.
Neil.
How come I didn't get one?
What?
Yeah, Neil.
Why is that about me?
I don't know. You have some explaining.
Because
to do
I
over
wasn't there that day. You guys could have got an extra one. But
my
whatever.
fault.
It's fine.
Yeah. Well,
I'll keep this in mind.
I actually wanted to get one for Fabian, not for Ramin, but you know, nobody. I don't think there. It was Mark gave him to us from ICE. So next time he's around, we will put him right on the spot. The guy brings about 1,000 donuts
exchange.
every time there.
Intercontinental exchange. That's
By the way, I heard Ram in our ear right there. I hate calling her Ram, but I heard Ramin in our ear right there. She's chewing on something. I think she's got a little turtle action over there as well.
She didn't give us all of.
Oh no, she's eating the broccoli. She was eating the broccoli over there. Oh, she has her sandwiches. The sandwiches were pretty good today, man. I had tuna finally.
You're still eating your.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Check what out?
He's eating.
Oh,
her
man, get
sandwich.
that half-eat damn sandwich off the screen, girl.
That-
All right, yeah, the chicken salad was pretty good, right? Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, we're having a lot of fun here. All right, good weekend. Yeah, enjoy your night out tonight. My wife still has not responded, so we probably still going out. We're probably still going out right there. All right, ciao for everybody, man. Have a good week. Thank you for everything there, Adara. And there's Adara saying goodbye as well. Adara, promise me you'll keep those graphics going?
Obviously, I love doing them. They're so fun. I literally have some that I'm not even posting over the weekend that are already going to be ready. I have a whole schedule for myself for all these earnings previews for you guys. So if you want infographics, or even if you don't, there will be infographics.
All right, well.
Get them one way or another.
Yeah, you get what you get and you don't get upset. And we get a lot of infographics around here. Go check it out at Trader TV Research. Silver's still pumping. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay warm.
Peace.